I got tickets going on sale right now, and they're at theovon.com/tour, and that's St. Louis, Cincinnati, Charlotte, Durham, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Wilmington, Wilkes-Barre, and some other places, Charleston, Richmond, Albany, Buffalo, Columbus, and Minneapolis. Today's guest is returning to the podcast. She's a very entertaining comedian. She has a new tour that she's embarking out on. She's also the host of the upcoming MTV Movie and TV Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, Nikki Glaser. And let myself unwind. Shine that light on me. I'll sit and tell you my stories. Shine on me, and I will find a song. I will sing it just for Yeah, it's good over there. It's just like sometimes you have to. I don't know what it's like. I like your shit.
You do? Thank you. I get a lot of compliments on these. They're not real snakeskin, but you shouldn't even wear fake stuff. I'm vegan. Because if you make it look good, then people are like, I want that. You know, if you make fake look good, then you're hurting the animals.
No, I don't. I think that seems crazy. But do you think vegan? Can you eat snake or not?
No, you can't eat. People always forget that vegan is like everything. Like I eat honey. If honey's in something, I'll go, okay, fine. But a lot of vegans like won't eat honey because it exploits bees.
No way. But bees want us to have it because also when you think about all the stuff that bees do to us and all the
what have bees done to us? We're getting revenge or something?
All the dude, you know how many of summers of mine were ruined because bees?
No,
you know?
They weren't. They were ruined because of your perception of bees as being like, people are so scared of bees. Their sting doesn't hurt that bad. You might, if you're allergic, yes, I understand. But like we were so annoyed with bees, we killed them all, and now our whole planet is collapsing because there's no bees.
Oh, dang.
But what were your run-ins with bees as a kid? So let's get your top 3 bee incidents.
Well, the big one was always
your childhood.
At summer camp, they always had bees there for some reason, you know? And so we'd go there to this place called Bogafalaya Park. And it was just like all the kids would come, and it was like a bunch of just ratchet kids. And like we'd all have our lunchbox, and like our Kool-Aid would like spill over on our sandwiches. And it was so gross. It was like YMCA summer camp, you know?
Yeah.
And some kids would leave during the day and just wander off into the woods and disappear. And like, it was just, but I remember at certain areas, they just had so many bees. They're like I want to say tens of thousands of bees.
Yeah.
And,
but you guys were events canceled because of bees.
Oh, I would say events. I would say kickball games ended early.
No way.
I would say lunches ended early.
No way.
One kid, a bee went up his nose and, and that was horrible. Good. And they had to this is before that. I think they had the EpiPens or whatever.
Oh, so this kid was allergic too?
Yeah, or I don't know if he was allergic, but he was one of those kids who their skin was real clear looking, you know?
Yeah, yep.
Like one of those kind of premature baby kind of. Yeah, that like, trans kid. Or lucent kid. I don't know what they call them.
Yeah, I think they're called lucents.
Yeah, one of those lucents, dude. So they got,
Yeah.
But some kids were never the same, I feel like, after that, after a strong bee came through.
Oh, people are so scared of bees. And I thought it was just a way that girls I was never really scared of bees. I was just like, okay, if they sting you, it kind of hurts. But I think being scared of bugs is kind of like a thing girls do to like get attention and like be not just necessarily from boys, but just they're not being seen enough in their families. So they're just like, if I scream really loud about this thing that's around a lot, then I'll get attention. And it's my thing. I'm like girls that are like, I hate moist. Like that's a hack one. But people looking for the word moist. Right. You know, when girls are like, oh my God, don't say it. And you're just like, you need an identity beyond like these things that you think are unique, but yet we all kind of are on board with.
Yeah, a lot of people say those types of things.
I mean, but we're all searching for an identity. I mean, your haircut is like a part of like that haircut. I remember when you first brought out, I thought it was for a role or something. And now it's you. And it's like, and it's such a look that you've inspired people to adopt it. It's now like a hot guy haircut. But when you first debuted it wasn't.
Really?
Theo, I remember you walking backstage at some show. I think we were at some one of Amy's tapings or something, and you came backstage, and I
sound handsome.
I laughed at your haircut. I thought it was a joke. I thought you were trying to joke us.
Really?
But, yeah, I did. I'm being honest with you. But I also was like, it looks good, like the type of way like on Halloween people still look good.
Yeah.
But then you kept your Halloween costume on, and I was like, and now it's still here, and that was probably 6 years ago. How long has it been? 5 years ago?
Well, I had long hair too when I was a kid, and I just liked. I never knew I was supposed to have long hair as an adult until I
You
just
didn't
had
know
it.
you weren't supposed to?
I never knew that I was supposed to.
Oh, you mean like you found your truth, like this is who you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just never felt. I just feel more like a man. I feel more like a courageous man. I feel like more like somebody that would run into a fire to help somebody.
Yeah.
Or not run all the way in. I would run close to the fire, and people would be like, "Oh, he's gonna stop." I'd run up the stairs onto the porch.
Okay.
Because fire is so hot. People in movies, they make it look like it's not that hot. Dude, fire is so hot.
It's so. What's the worst you've been burned? Like, have you gotten what degree?
Let me think. Probably
have you
3.
Had some bad burns?
Oh yeah, dude. I went not whale watching, but looking for something once, and and I got sunburned so bad, dude.
You can't go from whale watching to looking for your keys. Like,
dude. We were looking for the Lord, honey. We were looking for the Lord.
So you got sunburnt real bad.
Yeah, I think we were doing drugs or something, and then ended up out in the sun for way too long,
okay.
And my friend kept dozing off. We ended up at this Elton John concert, and he was on opioids, and he literally kept dozing off, dude. And one time we thought he was dead. But we were so messed up, we kept nobody would check to see if he was dead. It was kind of like not like freeze tag, but some weird game. It was like a kid's game, And
so you thought he was dead. Some of you were scared by it, but mostly it was just like that's hilarious.
Everybody was just laughing. It was just one of those days where Sean's dead. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I guess, I think things like that, bees, sunshine, things like that, I guess,
I'm terrified of the sun.
A lot of it's dangerous.
I don't go in. The sun, I've known that aging as a woman is a bad thing, so I haven't been going in the sun since I was in high school. I used to always sunbathe, and I used to cover my face in décolletage with a towel when I was 15.
Oh, wow.
Just to be I don't want to be wrinkly when I'm older. I even knew at a young age when you're supposed to think you're young forever, plan ahead. And the truth is, it's you can't really stop it. It's just going to happen.
It's hard. I think I'm starting to realize, even just growing up, that it's hard to get older. It's a little tough, It's it's kind of, it's just so, it makes me, I often realize how much time I probably wasted. Whereas time used to be this thing, it'd be sure, have some of my time,
Yeah.
It'd be I've got as much time, who wants some of my time? You used to have so much time. It's you're running around with this big bag of time. And then now it's I don't have a second to spare,
And
it's time. It's just,
you're right. I mean, you watch any of those things about the tech companies that are trying to create things that take our time. Our time is the only thing we can't get back.
Yeah.
So it's they really just want our attention and what you give attention to. But I feel getting older and realizing, the things I've wasted my time on have not really, that kind of being God, I wasted so much time, doesn't help me not waste time now, because I'm not just finding new ways to waste it. But you know what I do now? When I find, what's something you wasted your time on that you can think about in the past that you
masturbation, probably.
Listen, I don't think that's a waste of time. It's fucking awesome. What?
It's awesome, but you get the hang of it, and then it's kind of
it feels good. You wanted to feel good.
Yeah.
You needed it. I feel anytime
but
I
it's
indulge
am I
in
still
something,
doing it? It's when you do it again, you're
where do you want to be right now that doing too much masturbating didn't get you to where you want to be? You are where no regrets. Feel everything that you've
I
done
don't think I'm where I am because I've been masturbating. I think I could have probably done other stuff and probably done it well. When you think how many trades you could have learned.
Okay, so what trade do you want to know that you would take some of your masturbation time? Because
landscaping, something outdoors, painting.
Now's the time for that. When your libido falls. Back then, you weren't going to go landscaping if you wanted to jerk off.
If I didn't have a libido, I think I would have done a lot of stuff. I would have done.
Someday lose it. Probably, and then that's when you get into
but not these days.
Cribbage.
No,
not these days.
No. These days you get the fake, the men now, you get a fake, they have all these enhancers and everything. They have all of this. It's like, they're going to have, you're basically just going to have like 80-year-old zombies wandering around.
But it gets your dick hard, but it doesn't get your like heart hard. So like guys, not heart or like your brain hard, so guys will take it to fuck their wives if their wives if their wives want make them do it. But they're not propelled by sex with women, so therefore you're not having to like feed this addiction, which is like the porn, like jerking off is really just like a porn addiction, and just like feel good, I don't want to feel my feelings, it's the easiest way. It's just one choice. But when you don't have a libido later on, you're just going to put that obsession into like woodworking or whatever, or canoeing or whale watching.
It would have just been nice to have pictures of myself like in a canoe or with like a nice statue I'd done or something when I was younger. You
didn't do any. You have no accomplishments when you were younger. You weren't like an Eagle Scout or something. You seem like you.
I didn't know how to like whittle or do a whistle.
Okay, if we had to do like a talent show, and it couldn't be stand up, and it couldn't be podcasting or interviewing or
go
anything
back to
based
high
in writing.
School talent.
Let's do a talent show like right now, Theo. Like if we were in a talent show with a bunch of comedians and none of us could do comedy, what would yours be that you have the best shot of actually being considered like, oh my God, he's good at that? Like, do you have any secret talent?
I don't know. Nick might know even better than me.
I'm still stuck on one accomplishment. You emancipated yourself when you were 14.
I got emancipated when I was a child. So probably legal separation from family.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to perform that at this talent show, but
I think I could do it if we had like a small black box theater. You know?
Again, it's a performative, but yes, you're right. That is incredible.
So maybe I guess something like that, like I could probably do some Elian Gonzalez type shit, but like like something like that. I could probably do some Elian Gonzalez reenactment.
Wait a second, just let me get this straight. You emancipated yourself from your parents when you were how old?
14.
That's fucking badass.
Got out there, yeah.
What, can I just ask why?
Yeah, I just didn't like it there. It just wasn't the best fit for me.
How'd you know that it was even a possibility to do that?
I don't know. I don't really remember. I honestly don't remember what happened. I remember we met. Yeah, I remember we just, Do you
have siblings?
That's how it came down to it. Yeah, I got a couple siblings.
Are you older, younger?
We're all it's all a couple years apart.
Wait, what one are
I'm
you?
number 2 out of 4.
Out of 4.
So.
And they get out? Did they follow suit too?
Nope. Everybody, some people stayed in, some people got out. It was basically almost like that, who's that guy that had that church out in Texas or whatever?
Jeff's?
Yes. It was like Warren Jeffs, but it was just my mom.
Oh, shit, man. Well,
and I love you, Mom. Happy belated Mother's Day. And she knows that. But yeah, it was just. Do you have
a relationship with her now? I'm sorry to ask.
Yeah, we got a relationship. But it's just.
Really?
Yeah, it's like.
Was your dad around?
No, he was not around.
Got it.
But I think it was just kind of like, when you're like, I don't know. It was more like just, I think we were more like roommates than family kind of in a weird way.
Well, the fact that you were 14 and were able to do that, is incredible, because I think that so often, I even have a hard time being like saying tough things to family because they're family, or doing something selfishly because you're family. Like just accepting that just because they're your family doesn't mean you have to put up with whatever they throw at you.
Right. But then also sometimes I feel like, was I just like a weak kid who was just afraid to take the fucking brunt of it?
That's so funny to frame it that way, because in no way would anyone hear about a kid taking the initiative to, maybe you were stupid, maybe you were like, Mom and Dad don't get, or like a kid could do that.
Right.
But
that wasn't me. I didn't have a skateboard, so that wasn't me.
To make that happen and to actually legally do that, that's someone who realize I'm smarter than this, and I know I need to get out and I need to protect myself. It's very, that's very independent at a very young age. And
I think that's what it was, just independent.
Yeah, and that's what did you do? Where did you go? What was your first?
I went to stay with friends. Yeah, I went to stay with friends, and then I would take my backpack to school, and I would find friends to stay with. So it was like kind of like this. I think it was very avant-garde. I don't know what that means.
Were you friends with everyone in high school? Avant-garde is kind of like, well, it's not the right use of it, but it gets the feel across. So you were just fly by the seat of your pants, kind of like you were homeless.
I wasn't homeless. I was staying with friends, and then I finally found a friend who could let me stay full time. So then I went and stayed over there.
And how long?
Stayed there for a couple of years.
And then did you go to college?
Yeah, and we got into some mild drug issues over there, and so then we went our separate ways, huh?
Were you in did you graduate high school?
Yeah.
So you emancipated and stayed in, like, This wasn't like, I'm going to go be an adult now.
No. I was just, I just didn't, I think it just wasn't like the best vibe at my house, you know?
Yeah.
Did you, what was your vibe growing up?
My vibe was like,
Were you like I could see you being like a cheerleader. Definitely like a kind of a maybe.
do you really see that?
Huh?
Do you really see that?
Is that sad that I see that?
No,
I
it's so
also see you as
nice.
more than that, but
No, I would love to be seen as that, but that is not how.
really? Your arms I feel like are so straight.
I could be. Well, that's just not the right one to do. But like, yes, like rah rah rah. Yes,
Right.
I would be good. Thank you. That's when I was on Dancing with the Stars. I met my partner, and he didn't know that I wasn't a good dancer. Like I lost the show. I was voted off first. But when I walked in, you could see he didn't know who I was. We were meeting for the first time, and you could see him be like, "Oh my God, yes! Like she looks like she can." Dance, like
Do it?
ballerina kind of.
Oh, yeah,
And
I
then
could see
we
that.
did like a quick he wasn't even teaching me something. He's like, okay, let's just we did a quick thing, and I saw him age like 70. Like his face dropped so severely of like he knew our fate, because I just don't have like a natural talent. So I would never have tried out for cheerleaders because I wasn't like cheerleaders are sexy. I wasn't like ever trying to be sexy.
Are
in
they
high
though?
school.
Some cheerleaders were cute.
Well,
you
there's
know?
like a perception of like anyone. I didn't like to dance. I didn't want to do anything sexual. I'm now realizing this as I say it. That's why I didn't have rhythm already.
Okay.
But also it was mainly about like short skirts and being like having your belly out and like being like, boys like me. Like I didn't like boys in high school. I loved boys, but I was just so scared of them. And so I would never do anything to like draw attention to myself in that way.
And what were you scared of? That they were going to be rapers, or that they were going to be
Like I was going to be
boys?
bad at making out, or that I was, or like whatever we were doing, that I would be bad at it, and they would tell their friends and make fun of me. Biggest fear, because it happens all the time, because I would hear stories of it constantly every day from my guy friends. So I saw it happening around me.
Oh, I feel like being a girl. I couldn't imagine being a girl when I was young. That would be the
it would suck. I mean,
toughest.
there's so many. I just didn't want the shit that came with hooking up with guys.
Yeah.
Maybe one girl I remember, she blew my crush. Oh my God, I love this guy so much, and she gave him a blowjob, and she threw up because he gagged her with it. It's a normal thing to happen, and sometimes can be kind of hot.
Yeah,
But, like,
some people have small windpipes.
Yeah, she was like high school girl getting deep throated by a guy who just got.
Oh my God.
You know, like we had AOL at that. Like he was getting images that probably inspired that, and then she threw up, and then the story is like, what an idiot she is, you know, and that's the whole story.
Yeah.
And I even perpetuated
Yeah,
that. Like,
like-
did you know that she threw up on his dick? Because it was just like, to me, girls sucking penises, it was just like a betrayal to me as a woman. Like I was just like, I can't believe I have to do
Whoever
that.
did it first ended everybody else's childhood.
Yeah.
So those people need to be called out in every town.
Oh,
whether it's Ronnie and Melissa,
Listen,
or whether it's
Katie-
Scotty and Jen, or whoever got the first blowjob and received the first blowjob in your grade.
I'm not kidding you, Theo. I
ruined
cried.
everybody else's childhood.
I cried when my best friend
Oh.
since 4th grade gave a blowjob, because I thought, I've lost her. Like we don't.
Yeah.
We'll never. I just want to eat nerds with you and go to the Sweet Factory and get a bunch of candy and then go in the photo booth.
Those days
and,
are
like,
over.
Go to the Gap and like dress up in funny outfits. I don't want you sucking a penis. Like what happened? So I just
Those
was a
days
late
are
bloomer.
over. Now she's wearing short shorts.
And she's hanging out
and
with
she's at
a
the
different-
gas station.
She's like giving hand jobs, and now all my friends are eclipsing me. Like they're all making out. Even the girl that I go, oh my God,
Yeah.
she's gonna be when we went to high school, we predicted who's gonna be the first to sex, boyfriend, all the stuff.
Really? Y'all were thinking about that?
Yeah, we were like, oh my God, who's gonna be the first with a boyfriend? Who's gonna be the first to get her period, lose her virginity, all these things. And all the they all went to me. Everyone thought I was like poised for all of this. And I left high school a virgin who had never had a boyfriend. And who
Did
had
you
never
feel
blown
like-
anyone.
Oh my
And who
God.
had only made out when a guy like had to be kind of like not tricked into it, but
Oh,
they had to be
yeah.
on spring break when no one else knew.
Oh, yeah.
And then even though he wasn't the most
Why?
popular boy in school, and they just couldn't. It just so happened I went to spring break my junior year. And I wasn't not attractive, but this spring break I really blossomed. It was a good one for me. But I go down to Florida, and me and my girlfriends.
What part of Florida?
Fort Myers.
Oh yeah,
So we're in Fort Myers,
shady.
01.
Good.
We called it SBOY because it was SB01, and we're cruising down the strip. We're getting guys' cars that are just like cruising. We're like, can we go to town? And it's like, you're my butterfly, sugar, baby. We're just like,
Yeah.
wow, like spring break. But we're dorks. Like we've never. A couple of us have kissed boys.
Did y'all have any tattoos, or did somebody just get one or
No,
something?
we weren't 18. We were like 16. Like we didn't drink.
God, yeah.
We weren't that cool, but we were just like thought we were badass. But so we're flirting with boys, going around town, meeting guys.
Okay.
Nothing's really popping off. Then one of my friends has she's on the water polo team because she's kind of like likes to do boy stuff, you know? And so she's friends with some of the cool guys. And so she has like a maybe association with them. And then, but we are on the beach in Fort Myers, and who rolls up on the beach
I know
the
who it
second
is.
day?
Tone Loc.
The Tone Loc of my high school.
Oh, I thought it was a
Yes.
musician.
No, it was Cisco. He was shooting his video
No
in the
way.
stand going, yeah, no. It was the most popular boys in my grade who would never even consider
And they
dating
rolled up
us
on y'all?
because they were striking out. They weren't shit down in Fort Myers. They were killing it in Kirkwood, in the halls of Kirkwood High School. But here, no one gave a they were just some dorky, like, Midwest boys. So they
some
ran out of
foo-foo
options
lames.
because it was the best. I'm telling anyone listening, plan a spring break where the hot group of girls is going and the guys aren't going, because they will know you. The familiarity will make them invite you over, and then you'll get to kiss two of the guys. That was my first kiss, was like two of the most popular guys in school. And then they went back and they wouldn't tell anyone, and I had mono.
Oh, yeah. There's always that chick who had mono, dude, all the time. We had a girl who had mono for like 7 years. We're like, somebody just take her life. Can we just sacrifice her, please, at some sort? Like,
that's something else.
God wants her back.
Yeah, that mono was the kissing disease, and you got like really tired, and it was. But yeah, I was such a prude in high school.
And we had a fellow, he'd always get hiccups around gay people too all the time.
That guy's gay.
No, he would just get them. It was like if people was gay, he would get hiccups.
And then could you scare him out of it by?
No, you had to drink water, or have sugar or something. Do one of the tricks.
What do you do to get rid of hiccups? Because there's a way that works the best. Me? Yeah. What do you do?
I just know they're gonna go away now because I'm an adult and I don't really worry about it as much.
So when you get them, you just stop thinking about them and they go away?
Yeah, pretty much. Or I'll hold my breath for about 5 or 6 seconds.
Exactly. You just hold your breath.
It's real easy. But when you're younger, it's like it just, there's probably people who've taken their life that thought they couldn't get rid of their hiccups and just.
Yeah. I mean, why isn't there a cure that we all just go, this is it? Like, where's the race for the cure?
Where's Fauci? Where's Fauci when it comes to these
Why are we
fucking
still
hiccups?
inconclusive and it's all old wives' tales with hiccups?
Yeah, you got people
should just be a
hanging
blank-
upside down. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be our cause. That we all settle on. Yeah, you just hold your breath until they
Dude,
go away
I
or you
remember,
die.
so when I was young, they had this
Yeah.
kid in our school named Patrick, right? And he got a little BJ from this girl, right?
Back to BJ's, yes.
And so everybody's fired up. People are cheering him on. People are drawing on their notebook like, yes, 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 People are excited.
So he got one and everyone's excited.
He got one,
The buzz
everybody's
around
excited.
Okay.
Well, what happened was then the girl's parents found out. So her parents had to go over to his
that
parents'
sucks.
house. Her parents called his parents.
What?
And they all had to go over and talk about
I
it.
would love to follow up with these two
dude,
today
no.
and hear their side of this. That is excruciating.
So here was the crazy part. So he let me be on the phone. He kept the phone off the hook, and you keep it off, and he just kept it in the living room. Yeah.
So you heard what happened? What happened?
Oh, it was the most awkward conversation ever.
Did they talk explicitly
There was
about
like blame.
blowjobs?
Yes, there was like, hey, we think that it's your fault. And it's like nobody's fault. It's like,
Oh my God. When was your first blowjob?
I think it was probably the same girl actually a couple of weeks after that, honestly.
Honestly? Really?
If I had to be real honest with you, yeah.
Please.
But I got real scared. I was at
How
a
old were you?
party. I think I was probably 15.
So after the emancipation.
I was at a party. Yeah, things went
Yeah.
uphill. No, I was at a party and some girl was. It was my girlfriend actually at that
Okay.
time, I think, or she. I don't know if we were girlfriend or not, but
Yeah.
Oh, and it was like behind a tree, but it was like the parents were at the party, and then the mom.
This was your first?
Yeah, the mom came around the tree.
What? Theo.
Yeah, and I got so scared,
That's a crazy story. Why would you just be remembering this? You got caught getting your first blowjob behind
and I was
a tree.
like, we're just looking for something, I just didn't know what to say. What would you say, And then I felt so bad for
I would
me. I
just be
felt
like-
bad for her.
The jig is up. Like we're caught. We're busted.
I'm not gonna use a racial slur, dude. I'm just
With the
saying
jig?
that. Yeah, I'm just saying that.
Is that a racial?
I mean, I don't know if it is or not, but I'm not even taking any
It felt
risks.
weird saying it, but I also don't feel like I would even be able to conjure what race that is. So I feel like I'm in the clear for that.
Yeah, you're
so there was
good,
no,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh, you're totally.
I don't want to
good.
jip you out of like talking about race, but
No, I think we're gonna be all right.
No, I think gypsy is not a thing you should say. Gypping someone out of something is
Oh, yeah.
very not good.
My brother used to work with some gypsies.
And spirit animal.
Oh yeah.
You know when
why?
girls go, "Oh my God, you're my spirit animal," I get that compliment a lot. And
Yeah.
it's like, I know that humans are animals, but it's supposed to be an animal.
Right.
You know, like, but also
Right.
Native Americans, because that's like a Native American thing, and we're just going like, "Oh my God, like that little koala is my spirit animal. Like baby koalas are my teacup poodles are my spirit animal," and these like Native Americans are like, that was like founded on the fact that like we believed in that spirit. Like we
Yeah.
actually thought that our tribe leader was
Do
an
you
eagle
think-
or red bear or whatever.
Yeah, but they thought that we could think that, man. Everybody could
but
think
it's
it.
making it like cute and like fun.
But that's because
because
if some girl does that and she's pulling on her hair and stuff like that, and she's never had a
that's
job,
how they say it.
but then that girl needs to get a job. I
But
think she can still
I
say
also
it.
don't want a girl to be like, my spirit animal is a
See,
camp.
that's
like,
what I want. I want
what
somebody
is
more.
if you had to, let's not say spirit animal, but what animal do you look at and you go, oh yeah, duh, okay. But why?
It's just because, man. You know.
Have you always liked rats? Rats are great. I would want to get one as a pet, but they die very soon.
Well, I had to share a room one night with two, not rats. It's like the limousine of rats. Ferret.
Oh.
And I had to share a room one night with two of those.
No. Wait, has he said that before?
I haven't heard it.
Oh, I'll tell you this story, dude.
Wait, have you said limousine of rat before? That is so fucking funny.
Why? You know, ferrets urinate on each other's backs.
That's you are truly.
No, you are my.
You know that
essay. I'm just gonna say essay. I'm not gonna say.
you
spirit
are
animal.
so funny, and I can't let the limousine of rats, a ferret, go.
If
That
that's
is-
the funniest thing we've said on this episode, then we are not doing well.
What,
I'll
are you
say that.
kidding me?
You're doing great. I think you look great.
No, I think that is the funniest thing, and I'm fine saying that's the funniest thing I've ever been a part of ever.
Oh,
That's so funny.
Dude, remember epilepsy? Remember how big that was? Remember
I mean,
epilepsy was big? Think about the things that were
Evanescence,
big when
the
you were
band.
young. Evanescence was big.
Yeah. Wake me up inside. Can't wake. Everything. She was like, save me. Everything was like. I used to work at CPK, California Pizza Kitchen, and she would just be like howling over the
Oh,
speakers.
every girl that worked at CPK could relate to Evanescence
Oh
singing
my
that.
God. Wake me up inside.
You get off work, you're just smoking in your car.
Oh my God. Yes, I would smoke cigarettes
Yeah.
on the way home from CPK
God.
after
Dude,
memorizing that
there
menu.
was nothing better than smoking a cigarette on your
cigarette
way home from
after
work.
Woo! That's
God.
a good one. Now it's smoking
Finally.
weed after work.
No, you think?
I really enjoy it. But it's not the same. Like, I love smoking a cigarette and like listening to it, like a great song and just feeling cool. Because cigarettes do make you feel cool. Vaping doesn't look as cool. It does just because like younger people do it. So I guess younger people are cool and you're like, oh, I guess that's cool. But cigarettes, I hate them and they destroy lives. And I haven't smoked one. I only had one in 12 years or something. And I quit on a dime, and it's very easy to quit. But I do think they look cool.
Cigarettes?
And they're fun.
Oh yeah,
They're just fun to
They're
have
a
a
real
thing.
thing. Now people are sucking like this electronic thing. It just has a different vibe. But dude, there was nothing better. I remember I'd get out of work, light that bitch up,
I want to have a fake cigarette and shoot this like we're like Mad Men.
and just be cursing everybody I worked with as I left. Just that like nothing mattered. I was the
Where were
king.
you working that you were leaving? And
I was
peeling
bus
out?
boy. I did mostly
where?
bus boying. Throughout the South, mostly throughout the Southeast region.
Okay. You don't want to give any chains? Or is it just like...
I worked at a place called BJ's Pizza House, and they went out of business. There was some, I think, fraud, and also the owner or somebody got cancer. I think maybe his girlfriend got cancer, but also they had a fight. They had a marriage dispute. What else?
Well, my first blowjob was...
Okay, damn. Well, here we go.
I know that all you do is talk about sex,
know,
but
look,
I did have a good
You
story.
try to talk to women about work, and they just want to tell you.
I don't want to hear about
when the first
your
blowjob was.
I wanted you to just say like a funny place you worked. I didn't hear like the whole backstory of your...
Sorry.
No, I was intrigued, even though I literally don't remember one detail from it. But
Did you work at an ice cream place? Now that I could see you at Baskin Robbins.
no, okay. First of all, I was not a cheerleader.
Dude, I would have bought 1,000 scoops. I would have let you scoop it with your hands.
Yeah,
okay?
that's so nice. I really appreciate that. Like I
was
remember
like,
the
can I taste
first.
some of it off your back? That's what I would have said, you know? Sorry, that's out of line. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's so nice.
Thank you.
want to.
Thank you.
I like when people allude to wanting to have sex with me. I think it's like very nice when it's done in a way that you're just like, when they're just like jokingly saying it, like that means a lot hearing that from you, because obviously that's like the struggle of my life, I think, is like wanting to be fuckable and also wanting to be funny and fun and be and then people being like, God, she's trying too hard to look fuckable. It's just like, I didn't discover that I was fuckable until very late in life.
Right.
And I also am not married, so who gives a shit and whatever. But what I was going to say about that is like, also, I even hate being like, my first blowjob, because people are going to write in comments like, all she does is talk about sex. She's just trying to shoehorn a sex story. But this, I actually think it's interesting. But what I was going to say, what did you say? I worked at an ice cream store? No, I worked at a pizza place, and I worked at a nail salon, or my first job was at like a hair salon as like the receptionist. And I
Did you have to sweep
cried
up the
on
hair?
the job, and no. Well, yes.
You didn't?
But I like was taking appointments, and we used to write them, and I cried so much on the job. One day my tears splashed down and like totally ruined a whole appointment, and like you couldn't read any of it, and my boss had to comfort me, and I just left and never came back, and she was calling my house trying to pay me, and I was just like, I can't be seen there again. Like I would temp here in LA when I was struggling. I was nannying most of the time, because it's just like they trust you if you're like a woman who smiles.
Yeah.
Like they don't think you'll like hurt their kids.
Oh, it's all about the JPEG when it comes to nannying, I feel like.
What do you mean,
It's
JPEG?
all about like the picture, you know, when you see those all pair websites.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like, you want someone who has like, you know, references and stuff. But I was babysitting like with a service that would just dispatch you, and it's so easy. And I babysat for Judd Apatow.
Oh, really?
For a bit. That was really cool, and just like gave
For
me
the
like
rich,
a peek into
huh?
that. Yeah, it was like $25 an hour. It was
Damn,
nice.
y'all working better rich.
But I was doing like, I was temping. Did you ever temp?
Did you ever do what's that thing? Sugar girls or whatever?
What's that?
Sugar babes.
Sugar baby.
Yeah.
Theo, I don't know who you think I am.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not a
I cannot have sex with someone I let
Yeah.
alone. I'm
Oh,
like
yeah, tell
very
me about
weird
it.
about sex. I know, I'm fascinated by your stuff with it as well, because I feel like I look at sugar babies or like OnlyFans girls and like thoughts and girls that are just like porn stars. I like love them all, and I don't know like, but I'm still weird about putting that kind of stuff out there. And
Yeah. Oh, I remember first. Yeah, when I even got that first blowjob, I even remembered asking my buddy to go with me because I was nervous. You know.
yeah, I mean, I guess guys are nervous too. I mean, I would assume you guys are more driven, but girls are like, I've got to get this out of the way. I didn't give a blowjob till I was a junior in college, and all my friends, I was like, they were all having sex relationships. I was just like, I haven't even had sex. I gotta blow someone. So I was just like,
Who was it?
it was a comedian. That's the interesting part. I can't say who it was, but it was. See, I was such a prude.
Was
so-
he tall or short?
medium?
I bet I know who it is.
I'll tell you who it is off air, but I can't say it on air.
I don't want to know off air.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. I'll tell you whatever you want to know, because I would trust you, but I respect that you don't care.
Yeah, I don't like knowing some of that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I actually.
I like more mystery.
Well,
I like to be able to imagine you blowing a couple of different people. That it could
I
be.
have. Like, I mean, my roster isn't crazy of people you know, but like, but that's the thing. Everyone's gonna be like, she's such a whore. I literally
I
have
don't
not
think
had
you're a
sex
whore.
in-
You're also an adult. It's not like you're a child who's like sneaking into people's houses and
But I just
fucking them.
don't
You
ever
are a
wanna give-
regular adult and you can have sex.
I know, but if I were having a lot of sex, I would talk about it. It seems like I do because I talk about sex a lot, but I don't. Like, I haven't had sex in 2 years, and like,
What?
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna get right into that. Here's a woman right here that has a question. She's not doing well either. What's up? Was she Australian?
We can't hear her. What the fuck? She's so cute. What? You can't even hear her, and you think she's Australian? What makes you think that?
I just get an Aussie vibe from her.
I can only do one.
It's your girl Kevy over here in RAF Lakenheath, England. That's Royal Air Force Base.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Lakenheath. My question for Nikki is how, and I'm sure you'll probably get 5 variations of the same question, but it's about coming up as a female comic. So what I've always noticed is a lot of female comics will start out like their first like big hit gig is like a lot of sexual based humor, and then as their gigs continue, it's like a play off of the same gig. And what pressures do you feel, I guess, as like a female comic of like, if your humor is not sexual based, like, do people think you're not funny anymore? Or like, what is that trend about? I'm curious. Obviously not a comic, but it's something I've noticed, with female comics, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of them. But when there are, always sexual based.
Yeah.
So, just curious.
Does it feel like that as a female
thanks.
comic?
Thank you,
gang, gang.
sweet
That's
girl.
a great question. Gang, gang. And I appreciate your service over there, too. I actually did a show at RAF Lake and Heath one time.
It's a great backhanded question. So what she was referencing is what a lot of people say is like all they talk about is sex. And it's true because, I mean, there's this documentary called Hysterical about female comics. And it's the last thing I'm sure a lot of people want to watch. And I'm in it. And I did not expect this to be so fucking good and moving. Like I watched it and cried at my own story. Like I don't cry. And I was like, I saw myself as like, oh my God, you're such a scared little girl who doesn't understand her worth. And then I watched all these female comics that I'm friends with in this documentary. It's so well done, Theo. You will actually really like it. And it's I love documentaries. It's really well done, and I would not. I'm in a lot of shitty.
And is it a real documentary
it.
that's on? We can see it somewhere now.
Well, yeah, it's called Hysterical, and it's FX.
Okay.
And on Hulu. But honestly, this is not. If I wasn't in it, I'd be promoting it. If everyone I've told to watch it, who you would think would be like not into that, people have overheard me listening to it. But anyway, I watched all my friends on there being like, what drove them to stand up. Judy Gold, Rachel Feinstein, Sherry Shepard, Margaret Cho, who else? Bonnie McFarlane, Marina Franklin, Fortune Feimster. It's Lisa
Griffin made it
Kathy
in?
Yeah. She's in it. I love her. But we all, and then the girl that stood up to Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein was at a fucking open mic or the show this girl was doing, and she called him out. It was so brave. It's fucking good. But my point is, female comics talk about sex. At least it's presented in that documentary, because we were like silenced about our bodies and like controlled about it for so long that when you talk, you want to talk about like what you've been told you can't talk about. But for me, when it comes to sex, I've done Fallon, like stand up on Fallon 4 or 5 times at this point. I can do clean material. I don't have to talk about sex. I don't talk about sex in any of that. And I've done tons of like squeaky things, and people go, "Oh, she's filthy." The thing is, I talk about sex because I like it. I'm not trying to talk about sex with you today because I am like trying to be like sexual, or because I don't think I'm funny about anything else. It's interesting and no one's talking about it. People still think, oh, everything's been talked about. It's like, no, it hasn't. I'm still encountering things that I'm like, I need someone to process this with me. And for me, that is saying it on stage and having people laugh and go, or have girls go, oh my God, that happens to me too. I needed to hear that. And like empowering girls. I just really want to do with stand-up talk about sex because I want men to know how we're feeling, and I want to understand how men are feeling. So I want to express what I think men are feeling and hear if that's right or not.
Right.
And like and make people feel better about it, because the reason I talk about sex is because I'm so fucking scared of sex, and like so also want it but also don't want it, and it's like the most interesting thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, sex is an interesting thing. It's really like it's how we get here also. It's like you don't even exist if somebody doesn't have sex, so
that's what the
fact that it has so much magic in it. I
would
think
be
is
a sex
pretty...
therapist if I wasn't a comedian. If I didn't have like talent and wanted to
do you
perform, I
think,
would
though,
still work in the sex field.
Do you think that women don't get broad enough with their topics though?
No, I think talk about whatever the fuck you want. Like anything I do now, that's what we were talking about, like hobbies and stuff, and feeling you waste time. When I do something now that feels like, if I masturbate now, let's say, or do something that I'm like, I'm trying to think of another, or get a massage. Like I'm getting a foot massage after this one. Really, I maybe should work on some stuff I have to.
Yeah.
But it's like those things, it's not a waste. Like I want it. Or smoking weed when I probably shouldn't. Instead of being like, you're smoking weed, this is so bad. I'm just like, listen, I have a life where I choose what I get to do. And so if I'm doing it, I must want to do it. It must be serving me in some way. So just cut the guilt and just enjoy it. So that I have that approach now with sex stuff. Like I will talk about whatever fascinates me, but sex still fascinates me until it doesn't. When my libido drops, when I'm doing stand-up when I'm 60, I probably won't be talking about fucking.
Right. Well, we can always check then, Yeah, I think it's tough sometimes. I don't like talking about it because it just seems kind of vulgar to me sometimes.
Yeah,
I think.
and that's like...
So I like thinking about it sometimes, but I don't like really... I guess sometimes I don't like talking about it, but I'm also like...
It's the vulgarity that makes you go, but then that makes you feel shame about the
you're
sex
right.
stuff. It breeds shame.
You're right.
Like I'm getting into talking about molestation on stage now. Like I want to do like a fucking molestation chunk. I have not been molested. So as someone who hasn't been molested... Oh,
you got to get out there.
I'm going to therapy to find it, because I feel like I have. I'm so fascinated by molestation and what it does to people. And and how much it's happening that we don't know about, and how much it affects so many of my friends that have opened up to me
And
about being
so many
molested.
people were
It's
molested.
everyone.
It's
It
like,
is,
Jesus. Why don't we just admit that
everyone-
everybody's molesting
if
everybody?
you're molested, it wasn't your fault. There's nothing you did. If you enjoyed it, it wasn't your fault. If you went along with it, it wasn't your fault. You were a kid. You forgive yourself. It doesn't mean you're gay, even if you enjoyed it and you were with a man and now you're in a relationship. Forgive yourself. Talk to someone about it. I don't understand what that's like.
Do you ever wish that you were molested, you feel like?
I have a joke about it, like being like, it would explain so much if
Right.
I was able to go, oh, it's that because my uncle and that one time and my mom ignored it, but I wasn't. I was assaulted for my first kiss, but in the scheme of things, it was very, very minor, but it scarred me to be scared of men and feel like they could just jump on me and I can't get them off of me and then they'll hate me.
Today's episode is brought to you by Liquid Death. Mountain water. Murder your thirst. Is there something interfering with your happiness in your life? Do you sometimes think about a smiley face and then you can't even finish drawing it because you just are not happy? Well, BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. BetterHelp. Now you think, man, I can't get help. I can't get help, man. Nobody wants to help me. That's crazy, buddy. You can start communicating in under 48 hours with a therapist. That's right, from right now. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. So if you don't want to go to your town therapist, or you don't want to go, maybe your wife is the therapist in your town and you don't want to go because she's going to know that you got a problem with her. So that's scary. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. I've used BetterHelp. I support what they do. You can go to betterhelp.com/Theo. That's BetterHelp.com/THEO. And join the over 1 million people who have taken advantage of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and this past weekend listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Theo. Parlez-vous français, papa? For most of us, learning a second language is hard. Something you don't want to do. You don't even want to meet anybody that has a different language in them. You know, sometimes you meet somebody and they got a little Yugo in them, or a little, they're speaking a little bit of Nova Scotian. You can't handle it. Well, Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app. It's an addictively fun and easy way to learn a new language. Whether you're planning on traveling abroad or just want to connect deeper with family or former family, even step family. Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons that you'll actually use in the real world. 15-minute lessons make it a perfect way to learn a new language on the go. Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you get an additional 3 months for free. That's 6 months for the price of 3. Just go to babbel.com and use promo code THEO. That's babbel.com, code Theo, for an extra 3 months free. Babbel, language for life. What do you think about, what was the thing I was looking at the other day? Are you dating men now? Are you being able to meet men? Here's a guy that has a question right here. This guy right here is in his car.
What up, Theo gang? This
up,
question's
player?
for Nikki. So I've been with my girl for about 4 years now, and I love her to death. However, I feel like the sex has gotten a little predictable in terms of, like, I know what's going to happen, how long it's going to take, who's going to go where, kind of things like that. And I was wondering what I can do to maybe spice things up without really having to ask her what she wants me to do to spice things up. Like, I kind of want to surprise her. I want her to be like, oh, this is new and I like it. So what is some advice? What are some tricks I can do to spice things up in my girl's life?
Oh, he's trying to be a sex guy.
Thanks, guys.
I'm excited to answer this.
He's trying to be a real sex man. What you got for him?
All right. So some things that I don't think are for every woman, but that a lot of men don't know are most women. And you can kind of test these out. And like, I'm not an expert in any way, and I've never thought about answering this, but I'm just going to share some things that I like that I think other women would like.
Okay.
And it's being definitely a light choking can't ever hurt someone. Like, start very like this. If she likes that, then she can tell you to go harder. But doing that out of the blue, and just even a light one still feels a little bit like, what? Just putting that, you can't go wrong. And even if she's like, no, that's fine. You didn't do anything. You just put your, like, you tried a little something. That's fine.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul.
Just
tying
choking
her up. Tie us up.
Oh
we
my God,
like
dude,
it.
This is gonna get
Girl,
everybody I know into trouble.
in a way, no. Don't just do this without just
and make sure it's indoors.
listen.
Also,
You can start all of this by saying, if at any point you don't want to do any of this, I will stop.
and start it with
immediately.
that cat's cradle thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't
I
go
love
boat
that
knot.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go like easy.
Just, you can get stuff on like all these websites have like easy straps to put under the bed that you can hide before you're even fucking her on the bed. When you get on the bed, go just like take her arm, kind of go, hold on a second, and then she'll be like, wait, what? And then put one hand in the thing.
Yeah.
Then if she's into it and like, what are you doing? Do the other one. Then do the legs. Then if she's wearing a pair of underwear that are easily replaceable, for like, put a sleep mask on her, blindfold her. This is the next thing. These are all consenting. Obviously, ask for consent. Then
There's like a writer's room. In that
try to get her
Saw
underwear
movie.
off, but you can't because her legs are down there. And then take a scissors and fucking cut them off.
All right.
And just be like, I don't even respect your underwear. That is hot. But make sure they're not a pair like hanky panky that are like $18 a pop. Make sure these are some like, like just one. Even actually, if they were my good pair, I would even respect it more. I'd be like, this fucking guy doesn't give a fuck about my nice. And then he would like pay me for them later or whatever. That's hot. And then here's the other thing.
Get her Venmo.
This guy can do with his girlfriend of 4 years. He knows her well enough to be able to try all of this. Don't do this on like a first date. But then I would say, treat her. See if she likes to be slutty. See if you can like. See whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I
take her
want to
to
know.
a
I want to know
Golden
what
Corral.
he's into. Whatever he's into, she's gonna like. Girls just want to feel like a guy's like.
And y'all take a bath first too, though. I think that's important.
Yeah, get her in the bath, set it up so.
Or take your own baths. I think just cleanliness is always good.
But
as
he's
well.
asking how to spice it up. I feel like he's not saying that. He said it got monotonous, not like musty.
Yeah.
That's not his problem, is the bath. But yeah, we'll start. Who's not taking a bath to
I like a good shower, no matter what.
Yeah.
If I'm having sex or watching TV,
I mean,
anything,
once you
I
get
like
in a
to be
relationship,
clean.
then you go, babe, this is at your own, swim at your own risk.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right now, it's not good. Like morning breath, sometimes you're like, it's bad, and they don't care. That's kind of hot too. But here's a good one. Good girl. Okay? This is when you push her to do things that might be a little too whorish beyond her comfort zone. And like she's like, if a girl's sucking your dick and you grab her hair a little aggressively and you say, good girl, sorry, I'm not trying to turn anyone on. It really is good. Girls love hearing good girl. And then the final one is tell us we can't come. Try to make us come and then say, don't you dare come.
Oh,
Don't
like
do
David
it.
Blaine kind of thing?
Don't do it. And be like, and be like, if you come, I'm gonna be really upset with you. Like, just you don't even have to be like, I'm gonna punch you, but like, or like, you're gonna get
I'm
the
gonna
whip
tickle
or
you
whatever.
maybe or something?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna be really disappointed in you, and she's gonna be like, what the
Oh,
fuck,
yeah.
and go, but I'm gonna try to make you come, but you're not allowed to come, and like try to, if you have that power dynamic, and then when you tell her to come, I swear to God, it will be really, really good. And no guys know that one, and that one's real good.
That one's a lifesaver.
Yeah, and to answer your, wait, what were you asking before?
Just to spice it up.
No, he had a question for me before this.
I think he meant just like get a card or something. Is what I'm. I think the guy
No,
meant something.
he meant bedroom
You
stuff.
think?
Yes.
But
he said the sex has gotten monotonous.
Yeah, you're right.
He's talking about sex. And these are simple things. These aren't even like bring lube into blowjobs. Lube makes things so like sexy and wet and like pornographic that you like girls, stop just trying to exist on your own wetness. Like just bring in lube.
Yeah.
And then I literally bring
You
in
gotta
toys.
outsource.
Toys.
Okay.
That guy needs
hold on. This guy's just who even knows
these are
what's
for,
going.
but I'm giving a grab bag for your listeners because so many people are in stagnant sex relationships.
Yeah.
Bringing a toy into bed is so hot because I will tell you, don't be threatened by it because when a guy brings a toy in, I go, like I was telling my friend the other day, I was hooking up and this guy was,
that's all I know.
yeah, bring your Legos. When this guy was going down on me and it was just not what I wanted, it wasn't
yeah.
going to work out, you know? But he was doing other things. He was doing hand stuff that I was like, now that's good. But the other stuff is just a distraction and I can't get there. And then I was like, can I just use my vibrator? And he was like, sure. And it was such a much better orgasm than I could have done alone with a vibrator. So I did need him. And it was much better than I could have done alone with him without, like, because I was not having sex with him. So I was like, but you know what I'm saying? Men shouldn't be threatened by toys. Are you threatened by them if a girl's like?
I don't think I am.
How do you not know if you are?
I don't know. Jesus Christ. I have no idea anymore. What I'm trying to say is, I think it's tough. Like,
What, Theo?
huh?
What?
Oh, dang. I'm just saying that. Yeah, the guy's having a tough time, and now you'll be able to help him out. I think that's good. I think the guy can now have sex with his wife. And
I think you're making my advice seem like too much, but I think it was fucking spot on, and I think your listeners are.
a lot of men need it.
They're gonna need it.
A lot of men need it.
And
Look,
a lot of girls need this. This is for the ladies too. Like, we gotta stop pretending like we all know what we're doing. We don't, and we gotta.
Well, I get afraid to talk about stuff that I like. That's one of my things. I'll get afraid
to talk about it.
I'll get afraid to bring stuff up.
Okay, so what is something can you admit something that you like here that maybe women wouldn't know that men like, is one of these things that I'm kind of sharing with you that you're like, oh, I didn't even know to think to do that. Is there something in bed that a girl's done it before and you're like, that's a good one?
I just like kind of like sneaky stuff. Like if I like more of like I don't like somebody who's all like fast and like it feels like they're trying to like Brazilian jiu-jitsu me. I like more someone like a little bit more of a
making love.
No, I don't need like
You want a Counting Crows song playing in the
I
background?
don't need it like that.
Fading everything.
No, but I don't mind things sometimes a little bit more. Like sometimes you get somebody in there, it's just like they're so just like rah rah rah. It's just
yes, you got to be on the same energy
Christ.
level. Like
Yes.
sometimes it is like, but sometimes like too fast is like I learned about blowjobs, which I didn't know from my guy friends, is that a lot of girls start at like a 10. Like you start sucking dick and you're like, I'm giving it my all, and it's like start at a 2. Don't give them what you got. Go to a 4. Keep it at 4. Go back down to a 2.
Yeah,
go down to a
7
1.
through 10
then
for
go
your
to
wedding.
7.
Save 7 through 10 for the future.
Just save it for the end.
Yeah.
Like I always went in really aggressive. Like my first blowjob was terrible. My second, third, like I was so bad for so long, and I probably am not that good. But what really is good, I think, about a blowjob is you just have to enjoy it. So now I'm just like, I try to just go like, what do I want to do? Because if the guy thinks I'm having fun, he's gonna think that he's gonna feel better about himself.
What if a man,
Maybe,
if you're given a oral and it's too fast, if a man tells you that, is that better if he tells you?
Too fast. Yes, that's it. Oh my God, that's
But
so
then
good.
sometimes
Good girl.
a girl will look at you like she doesn't want to go slower, like she's in a hurry.
No. Well, if someone can't understand that it feels better if you go slower and they're offended by that, that's not someone you should be with.
Okay.
And if you're scared to communicate, and I've been like that, Theo. I had a guy once going down on me, and I was just like, that's not, and I was just like, if you do this like right here, I like had the solution, I was like, oh my God, it's like a massage. You're like, no, up an inch or whatever. And I was like, oh my God. And he just goes, I got it. Like he kind of like I was trying to figure out the directions on
people don't want to, sometimes they want to just figure it
car
out.
navigation. Like, I got it, like, and I was like, it's my pussy. I actually got it. Like, I know how to operate this thing.
But then part of some of
But it
that
takes a
all
man-
takes away the magic.
I
though.
get it, but no, it's just like, no, it won't, because he starts doing something to the spot I just pointed out that I can't do myself, and that I don't even know if he's going to be able to, but let's just see. And then I come a lot, like, that will be magical. Girls don't care if it's like, you know what, he made me come, but the coolest thing is he found it without me telling. Like, girls don't talk like that. Just, we're fine if you just do what we tell you to do and do it well. It's like awesome.
Yeah, you're right.
So ask and tell girls, because girls need to learn. I feel like I didn't learn how to do stuff until I was in relationships where it was like, we can actually have some real conversations about what is good and what's bad. And it's like, why make it a guessing game if you know what you like? A lot of times I didn't start masturbating till so long that I didn't hook up with anyone for so long that when all these magazines are saying like, communicate with your man, what do you like? I was like, I'm 32 and I don't know what I like. I don't even know what to tell a guy.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want me to do down there? I'm like, just like I used
Do
to
your
want a guy
best,
to just
I say.
rub his face in it so he hits something. Like, I don't know the spot, but now I know a better idea.
Think about the different quarantine purchases you made. Maybe you bought a bunch of fresh squid ink bath bombs, or maybe you bought a lean-to or something, or a Native American home. Well, one of your biggest purchases of the year usually is insurance, and America's Americans overspend on car and home insurance by billions each year. Yep, billions. That's where the Zebra can help you. The Zebra, it's the nation's leading insurance comparison site for car and home insurance. In minutes, you can compare policies from every major provider for free, all in one marketplace. After a few quick questions, the Zebra pairs people with the right insurance company for them. Make insurance your smartest purchase yet. Visit thezebra.com/Theo. You can support this past weekend by visiting thezebra.com/THEO. Wouldn't it be great if there was a little manual or a pamphlet that helped you be better, helped you focus and sleep and act? Well, there is. And if you have 10 minutes, Headspace can change your life. Headspace, it's a daily dose of mindfulness in the form of guided meditations in an easy-to-use app. It is one of the only meditation apps advancing the field of mindfulness and meditation through clinically validated research. I've used Headspace. I enjoy it. I enjoy meditation. I enjoy creating space inside of me between me and the way that I behave. Headspace is backed by 25 published studies on its benefits, 600,000 five-star reviews, and over 60 million downloads. You deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/Theo and support the podcast. That's headspace.com/THEO for a free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every situation. Headspace.com/Theo. Well, this guy's beautiful, honestly.
Oh my God.
I'm going to say that.
Wow.
What up, Theo? What up, Nikki?
Hi.
Here by the pool. I'm a 22-year-old guy, on the hunt for that kitty. I'm always looking for different ways to approach a girl at a bar. So, Nikki, the question's for you. What is the sexiest ways a man can approach a woman at a bar? Gang, gang.
Gang, brother. There you go, dude.
I mean, that energy, watch your video before you approach a woman at a bar and mimic whatever it was that you were putting it out in that, because that's a sexy guy. And the way I was just mesmerized by that, it's just very hey, yeah. I know who I am.
Hey.
And that, that guy
I used to work here kind of vibe.
I've never been hit on in public, but some things that I would like to hear is I'm sorry, you're really stunning and seem great. And
that sounds like something I would say. It sounds like mine.
Be honest. How about honesty?
But
you were the hottest girl in this bar, and I know that's a line, but if it's true, fucking, we want to know.
What about this? Hey, you seem like hey, I had to come over and say hey to you.
Love it. I love that.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, hi. And then you can just say, I didn't even have a plan for this. But one thing that I liked that my friend used to do was he would give his email to a girl. He'd see a girl in the park and on a bench and be like, here, I think you're really cute. I'd love to take you out. Here's my email. So let me know if you want to go out. And it's email, so it's not as threatening. And if I don't hear from you, I'll convince myself you lost that. But I hope I do. And then leave. But that is hot because he didn't give me his number. So it's kind of okay, I need to prove this guy worthy of getting his number. So he kind of negs you in a way with just the email.
Right.
And then he also makes it so either way he's going to be fine. And you're well, then that was hot and confident and just that was confidence. Just exude that and don't wear a shirt and lose one of those necklaces.
A lot of places you can't even get into without a shirt, though.
That's true. Okay. Just a deep V. Just kidding. Do never deep V. Never
really?
Ever. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't have any of those anymore. After this conversation, I don't. What else is going on? So, how are you meeting? Are you meeting people now? If you're not dating?
I
thought you were dating your opener. You guys don't date?
Andrew?
Yeah.
Andrew Collin is my roommate. He's my best friend. He's my opener. I met him as my dog walker. He's a hilarious comedian.
Okay,
we have
you
a
didn't say
podcast
no
together.
Yet.
Hold on. We have a podcast together called the Nikki Glaser podcast. It's Monday through Thursday. It's like a morning radio show every day. So I would love if people would subscribe to that. He's fucking hilarious. I thought you guys knew each other. I thought you were good friends. Because he loves you.
We have met before.
He loves you. I love you. We share your
He's
clips
very
all the
funny
time.
man.
And we just think the world of you. But it's so I was like, you got to come with me to Theo's
that's
thing.
sweet of you.
So he's in another room, but no, we don't have that. It's like we're like best friends, and it's just platonic. And people are like, how could that be? And I don't
it's
know.
good. It's
nice.
just
like
Look, I think it can
we
be.
have boundaries, and
Yeah.
and it's great. I live in St. Louis with him. I convinced him to move from New York to St. Louis because I didn't want to go back to New York or LA because I could get a fucking amazing place in St. Louis. It's by my parents. I was there for the whole pandemic, and I was starting a podcast, and I knew I needed a co-host, and I was like, I'm lonely. I want a roommate. I don't have a boyfriend.
That's awesome.
I don't have, my friends all are married. So Andrew, will you move here? We got a fucking penthouse like apartment in St. Louis for fucking cheap. We're living the life. We're doing our podcast at home. We wake up and we just meet. He's got a girlfriend. I'm trying to like date guys. My ex-boyfriend's back in town.
Where are you meeting these men though? And I love hearing this.
I recently fell in love in a deep way for the first time in my life, and I'm like,
oh my God,
yeah, it's crazy, and it's already over, but it was awesome, and I met that person in person like on a job, and it was just like it only lasted like 3
White
weeks.
Guy?
Yeah.
Wow, in 3 weeks, so it was like mad love. Like it was
Yeah.
like this fast, furious kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a special thing, but it was also like people can't believe how I'm not like it was, and it only ended 4 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
And I thought
So it's still
I told this
fresh.
person I wanted to be with them forever, like, or not that I wanted to, but like, you're one of many men I could probably see myself.
And would y'all
being
share a
with.
bed at night sometimes?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I didn't have sex with them because I don't have sex with people until they're my like boyfriend, you know, like not boyfriend, but like just they're committed to me and like want to be with me. And so we didn't ever, it didn't end up being that because we wanted different things, but but it was so nice to fall in love. And like, Theo, I don't know that, have you ever been in love?
It's scary. Yeah, I've been in love, man, when I was young.
No, man, like hot, like love where you're like, I'm ready to like be with this person forever, where you're like, like I think I might like them no matter what kind of love.
Like, what do you
And,
mean?
like,
Like,
they
no matter
love you
what? Like,
back
if
and
there's
you
a
feel
fire or
like-
anything?
Like, I've been in love before with guys and felt like I was like literally probably in love with Dave Matthews in high school. Like the feelings I felt for him were so intense that they really.
Yeah, until he opened his bus, like the urinal of their
That
bus
was
up
even
over that
hotter.
bridge.
I'm
Remember
into
that?
some really kinky shit.
And it hit all those people on
Yeah.
that bridge.
Yeah, I love scat play. I love when he's scatting. Oh wait, no, that's the James
I think
thing
that
he
was,
does.
yeah. I think he was opening up for Jim Norton. That was on the Jim Norton
Yeah,
tour.
that was a bad moment in the Dave Matthews. You know how they do the River Green for St. Patrick's Day in Chicago?
Yeah.
He was celebrating another holiday that associated with, I couldn't think of one. I didn't even want to try. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know. That would have been a fun joke to make.
Do you
some
think
point.
sometimes that
But
as we get older, our brains get a little less acute for making jokes? Have you started to notice that at all?
No, the jokes were there. I just couldn't make them because it seemed like it might be racist or something.
Oh, I see.
Like if they painted green for St.
you gotta
Patrick's Day,
let
it's
those
brown
go.
for what's a shit holiday? I
Right.
don't know.
Oh,
I
you
just
gotta
go to like brown. What's like the most crazy thing to say about the color brown as my joke brain, and then I go like racial jokes,
Right.
and then I can't make any of those, so I just go I'll just stare at Theo instead and laugh but you're right. I feel like as I get older, yeah, we're getting slowly like more stupid.
Sometimes I
and
wonder if my
demented.
brain gets a little less acute sometimes.
You're
but
you're busting out limousine of rats. You're just fine. Like
That's easy, though.
I watch your shit sometimes and I go, it's who I was showing you to someone. I was showing you to the person I was in love with, actually. And I was like, he is the funniest. And he just goes, it's like his brain works. It's like, I go, he's just so, you're well known as someone who is just like, Jesselnick and I were actually talking about you. It wasn't Jesselnick, but we were talking about you the other night and just saying like how like your talent is so unique and like you've
that's
always been
interesting.
that way, but it's just like, it's just so cool to see you just like really refine it. And I just love watching you and you're so funny, but I don't think you will get more demented. You're peaking, but it's downhill from here because
Damn.
you know, like Gary Shandling, did you watch that thing? The Judd Apatow documentary, the 3-parter. It's so good, but you see this guy that is a genius kind of start to lose his mind.
what happened to him?
You know, he was starting to get paranoid about things like who knows what it was. I forget what happened. I think his health was deteriorating, and so his brain, as a result of those things, I forget that it could have been a specific thing that was leading to this. But there's a scene of him on Conan later on in his life before his death, where he's just not sharp, and it's like you feel like you're watching your uncle being interviewed, like that has good jokes, but like it's just the timing's off, and it's like this. It's sad to see, and I know it goes. Like
Things
if I smoke too
change.
much pot, my jokes don't get worse, but my memory for what the fuck I'm talking about gets worse. So it gets more like disjointed. So that's I definitely feel deteriorating from just like not sleeping. From, do you feel that way? That you
I think sometimes, yeah. I just
Memory
did
problems?
I just went through a ketamine therapy too. I just did
You
ketamine
did?
therapy for like 2 weeks. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Wait, when did
my
you do
brain
that?
is a little. I felt a little slow. Even in this conversation, I felt a little.
Theo, I wish I would have
disconnected.
known that. Wait, what? Can you just quickly tell me what led you to do that and what it was?
Yeah.
Like,
What led me to do it? I met this lady and she had done it, and so.
I'm asking, like, why do you need ketamine therapy?
Oh, because I was having so much pain. I was literally having so much physical pain
Yes.
from stress
Yes.
that I was like, I have to try something different. So I just wanted to try something new, you know?
And so ketamine for for physical pain because they know it's mental.
Well, because I feel like it's definitely psychosomatic pain.
is.
Like it comes literally
Which is
from
real.
stress, from like things, from thoughts and like stressful
Yes.
moments that it happens.
Have you read that back pain book, Sarno? It's all about that. Like,
I will read it sometime, but
I'm just saying.
I probably
this is
won't
like,
read it,
No,
actually.
you won't. But let me just say, it's a book that has healed so many, my back pain included. You read it and you learn that your back
I don't
pain.
have any back pain right now.
But you know, whatever you were trying to treat, the fact that you were able to acknowledge like this is stress and I need to treat the stress, not the physical element. People are getting
Yeah.
back surgeries, and it's all because it's their subconscious mind is like rerouting pain that they don't want to feel up here to the weakest parts of their skeleton. So your bulging disc is not supposed to hurt as bad as it does. It is
Right.
there, but you don't need surgery on it. You need to just acknowledge that it's stress. You don't even need to fix the stress. You just acknowledge that it is, and it will go away.
Amen.
But then you slowly treat it. But ketamine therapy, is your pain gone now?
Well, a couple things happened. I mean, I feel like it has been going away. I also quit caffeine about 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay, Theo.
So I'm
I
trying
can't
both
believe we're
those
getting
things
into this
right
so
now.
late. I am totally obsessed with caffeine addiction because I am addicted to it. And I know you asked about my Zevias if they were caffeine, so I did note that early on. Caffeine addiction is from my. I tried to quit caffeine for 20 minutes and was like felt
my
like I had
God.
COVID because of the symptoms of like in the morning, like the depression, just malaise, lethargy.
Lethargy.
I think it's lethargy, but lethargy too, if you want to say it that way, which is wrong, but it's fine. But did you experience that? Did you experience like, how did you do a podcast?
I have been tired. I think I've been tired from not some of the caffeine, but also I definitely feel like some of the acute pain from the stress going away.
Yeah.
So that feels pretty good. And then the ketamine thing, some of it was cool. Like some of it got a little scary. I was kind of glad when it was over. I was like,
How does it go?
it's just like you go, they hook you up to an IV, you're in there with a therapist, and so you just start talking about stuff, and then you like your brain kind of goes through like these warp zones and stuff, and you literally, I mean, I remember at one point I thought it was a cryptocurrency. Like you go pretty deep.
You might be
You
a
go-
little bit slower than you normally are, but you didn't affect I love that I'm clearly seeing that whatever you did not affect how funny you are and the way your brain
Yeah.
works, because I think so many people are scared if they treat this stuff, they won't be as funny.
Well, I just wanted to try it. Like,
Or
I
the
feel like I'm
same.
healthy enough to try it. I'm healthy enough to have an experience from it. You know, in the end, I still feel probably like, you know, a lot of my stuff is spiritual in nature, and I probably just need to have a relationship with a higher power for myself.
Do you?
But I could be better for sure. I mean, I have one, but it certainly could be, you know.
I just got one too
a good
a
day-to-day
year ago,
practice.
and or I've been trying to have one within about over a year, and like accept a God or higher power, or like admit that I'm not in control of all the things. And that's kind of like about the acceptance of like, okay, I want to masturbate, so I'm masturbating. I want to smoke weed, okay, I'm smoking weed. Like the gentleness of like, you're not in control. Just be. And
Right.
and the higher power thing, and being raised as an atheist, I don't know how you were.
Oh, you always raised as atheist, really?
Yeah, like
We
really
weren't
staunchly.
raised with much, but we didn't. I just picked up things from around the neighborhood,
My family
pamphlets.
loathes religion. Loathes.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
And like, like if you believe in God, you're probably dumber, and you those are the things I kind of grew up with. Like my parents would catch me watching Seventh Heaven, and they'd be like,
What's going
like
on here?
go memorize some fucking Marilyn Manson lyrics or something, you know, like go they would be like disappointed. I would go to Christian Young Life camp because it was just to flirt with
it's
boys and my
fun, yeah.
friends, and I like singing songs. I like singing Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba, like those moments, and they were just like, you know, it's Christian.
you
And so now
feel-
I feel really weird being like telling my parents I was living with my parents over the summer, and I was so depressed that I started praying because I just had no hope left. When you mentioned ketamine, I was like, tell me about it, because I was so depressed that I called Neil Brennan being like,
Oh, yeah.
No, I called Gary Goldman actually, being like, I was about to call Neil, but it didn't get that desperate. But I called Gary Goldman being like, I'm going to check myself in somewhere because I'm fucking want to kill myself. Like, I'm not going to, but it's bad. My brain is turned against me. And because my parents, I'm living with my parents, they're like, you hosted Kimmel last week. You have all these tour dates. Everyone's like, you're
doing
nothing
fine.
There's nothing that spurred this. And it's like, I don't know what's going on here, but I got caught praying one day because I was trying to talk to a higher power, trying to just like act as if there is one.
Oh, yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
okay, I'll
Act
just
as
pray
if, yeah.
next to my bed like I'm like a little Mormon like girl. Like, I don't know how to pray, so I get on my
But
bed.
doesn't it feel like something? I feel like
something.
when I put some, like, if I talk inside of myself subconsciously to a higher power, and I'm not saying your higher power is to be any specific religion. I'm
it
not
can
saying anything
literally
like that.
yeah.
But if you do that, I feel like something hears me.
Yeah, it does.
And I feel like it's that. I don't think that's a crazy thing. I haven't always felt like that in my whole life, you know. But I feel
It's
like
so,
it does.
I can't
and then
believe
it's
I went
nice
so long
because
without
then
it.
life every day isn't just my responsibility.
It's not just up to you. That's what I love about it too, because you
I'm
as someone
tired
that
of it being up to me.
emancipated since you were 14.
My whole life, everything's been up to me.
It's
It has.
always been you,
So
and
I'm
now
just
you
sick of
learn
myself.
as soon as you finally accept it. Which, as someone who didn't believe in God, and like to accept that there's someone looking out for me, and that always is with me, even when I'm like having a relapse or like always, you know, I kind of my like biggest problem is like I quit drinking, but my biggest problem is like eating disorder stuff, and it's like even when I start to do those behaviors that I know lead to bed, or I'm smoking too much pot, I'm just like, if I sit and acknowledge like whoever's looking out for me, this is the way it's supposed to be, and just like then the behavior doesn't
It doesn't affect you
detensifies.
so much.
It doesn't.
Oh,
And I
I
accept
see what
it.
you're
Like I'm
saying.
just like, okay, someone's here with me. Like I got nervous the other day, but it's hard to remember to do that. That's the thing of just being like, hey. Sometimes I talk to dead friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that helps me. Of like, hey, can you not help me? Like, hey, will you please get me this special with HBO? Please have them give me a special. I don't ask for things, but I go, will you help me be okay no matter what happens with this HBO special? And
Yeah.
that's what I ask for. And that just, whether or not it is true, it just fucking, it helps.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
hard.
it just feels like it feels like to have some connection to a higher source just feels like, I don't know. It used to seem like it was part of life so much more. Even if you go back to Native Americans, like their spirit animal, the spirit, you know, like the fact that they would like pray to the sun and the moon and like to the water and like how it all works.
Yeah.
And then here we are out here just like, you know, it's like these things we've created, you know, all this technology and all this stuff, like it has so much more power, you know, it takes all our attention, like you're saying, but it's not very rewarding though. I don't think it
No.
gives us much of a reward.
But sometimes I'm on Instagram and I'm scrolling and I just go, you know what? And I'll acknowledge it. I'll go, you've been scrolling a while and you're not feeling good about this. I just go, either you make a decision. Do you want to keep doing this? And if you do, just do it. You know, don't have this.
Right.
like,
Yeah. Don't also do the thing where you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, just
I
do it,
agree.
but acknowledge that you're doing it. And I know we got to wrap things up, but fuck, what was the thing that you were saying
How
about
long have we been going?
praying so long?
Hour 20.
Have we really?
Mm-hmm.
It flies by.
JC, fam.
Yeah, just
I ordered some lunch too, actually.
It's just
I want to know what you think about. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, but anyway, I got really depressed. But the thing that I got like diagnosed with ADHD. And
You have
it was, like,
ADHD as an adult woman.
and I never was diagnosed with it, but I went and got like, you know,
Are you on the meds
tests.
now?
Yes, and
Dang,
that is, I just, it's scary to like be dependent on something, but I'm also on antidepressant meds. I just don't want to have thoughts of killing myself. I'm tired of it. I'm not. It's like, what is that? I wouldn't even like sit and think like, how am I going to kill myself? I'd just be like sitting here with you, and then I would just like think of, And I just like, And
Well, and
meditation
how many
helps that
Native
too.
Americans killed themselves? You know, I
Really?
wonder. I don't think many did. You know,
Bow and arrow like this.
I know.
Or like,
That would be the worst.
I bet they
I think they
poison
might
themselves.
have sacrificed themselves, but I think that's a total different mental and spiritual
Yes.
animal than just like.
And you're doing it because your dad made you, because you
Yeah.
have to sacrifice a virgin on the first full moon or so. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I think
it's
it
not
was
something
just
you really
different.
want to do. But
So, yeah, I think-
suicide though is like, it's.
I
like
think that's why
fucking
you see a lot of
think
people
about
trying to
it
get
a
back
lot.
into things that are just more like, I think it's one of the nice things about actually having getting a place that's not in Los Angeles. I just feel there's a little bit more nature around me. It's like I can go run a few times a week around this Lake Radnor, and it's like it's just a couple miles,
Do you
but
worry
it's
about
just
saying
nice.
where you're going running?
Huh?
You're gonna have. Do you care if like the gang shows up on your run?
Oh no, I don't.
That's cool.
I see people out there a lot. I
that's
see people
fun.
when I'm running by.
Yeah.
It's mostly a lot of Arabs like to go walk by the. Arabs use a lot of parks. They'll use a lot of parks if you notice that.
No, I haven't.
Middle Eastern people love to use parks.
They're smart. Parks, like getting out in nature, it really does. It makes a huge difference.
It's a big
like,
thing,
I was just in like the Cayman Islands, and I was
Oh,
on an
damn,
island for
huh?
2.5 months, dude. And there's no COVID down there. I just stayed, and then the show ended, and I stayed 2 more weeks because I'm like, I'm not coming back until the States need me for something. It was awesome.
Yo, we're working on a show.
Yeah.
What kind of show is it?
It's I can't say, but
Okay.
I'm host. I don't. When is this coming out?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hosting a show that I can't. It's gonna be out this summer, but it's like
Oh, fun.
it was the best thing I've ever done.
It was.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
amazing. After I accepted a gig that I truly accepted based on hearing the name of it and being like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Like I'm loving my life right now, and I feel like you are too. Like I feel like we're just
But
doing
you also
things that
said you
make
were
us happy.
killing yourself a second ago.
No, that was last summer.
Oh, my bad.
This was
I thought
no.
it was now.
I got over my depression probably in the fall because I went and got treated for it, and I like on a dime started treating my ADHD, and I have not had one suicidal ideation since then.
Wow.
But over the summer, I was in a really dark place, and it could come back because I've had those throughout my life.
Do you feel? See, one of my goals, I would like to get off of antidepressants. That's one of my goals, which is one of the main
know.
reasons why I tried the ketamine therapy, because it's had a lot of success with getting people off antidepressants. So
I also want to do mushrooms and LSD to treat.
people are trying a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I am. I'm
I
gonna
also
do it.
want to go to Burning Man.
Do you like Sam
for a
Harris?
month.
Do you like Sam Harris?
I got his app, the Wake Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Harris is the reason
good.
I'm a better person now than I was the summer.
there's
He
so
and
much-
many others.
There's a lot of good stuff out there.
There's
you
no
know?
free will,
There's
you
a
know
lot of
that?
junk out there too. That's a tough thing.
Oh yes, and he might be like.
No, I don't say he is. I'm just saying,
no,
but there's a
he
lot of
might
junk.
be, like I know that I fall for shit all the time online. You know, I didn't fall for that Gwyneth Paltrow thing that everyone was passing around.
What, the vagandals or whatever?
No, she said there was some headline the other day that was like, through the pandemic, it's been really tough. One night I even had to eat bread, and everyone's going, oh my God, I lost my grandfather. But it was fake. She didn't say that.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, that's the thing. She maybe said a comment, but they're like, it's not real.
Well, nothing in the news, none of this is real.
But
All of this,
but Sam Harris is someone that has like his app is so helpful for if you're going through depression or just existential crisis. But and the fact that there's no free will has really helped me too.
well, I think. What do you mean
Look
there's no
into-
free will? You mean?
Look into it. If you read Sam Harris's book Free Will, the concept that you have any control over anything you do, you want to talk about you're not in control of your own life. You're really not, because it's too much of a concept. This might, if by the way, this freaks anyone out right now, the idea that you're not in control of your life, because the fact is you're not. That scares you. You should probably not. Trigger warning, because some people with like psychiatric illnesses can't handle this.
Wow.
But basically, free will doesn't. The idea that you are controlling anything you do. The idea that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pet that rat, and I did it. Okay, yes, I had the thought though of I'm gonna pet that rat. Did I choose that thought? Did I go, I could do anything right now and I'm gonna go choose? No, it just popped in my head. So anything that you can argue as a choice is a thought that popped in your head that you did not, that you pulled out of nowhere. You didn't choose who your parents were. You didn't choose that your heart's beating. Much like those other things, you don't choose what you think, and everything you do is based on what you think. So if you're not choosing what you think, it's either completely random or it's determinism, which is like it's already laid out. Does that make sense?
I mean, it slightly makes some sense. I mean,
But
I think
oh.
it just sounds like more
It's
that
freaky.
it sounds like a bigger thing that we'd have to unpack. You know, it sounds like a bigger.
That's the
conversation
basics.
kinda.
And if anyone's interested, just I'm serious. Look into because it really helped me.
Right.
This concept, and I didn't know it was a thing. It's a short book called Free Will by Sam Harris.
I could see it taking a lot of pressure off of people because then it's like the decisions and the choices you make are not as they're
not your
gonna,
fault.
They're not going to hamper yourself as much either.
Well, nothing's your fault. Like when they open up, this is a great example he gives in the book. When they open up a guy that shoots up a fucking mall or something, and they're how could he
Strip
do this?
mall.
A strip mall. He shoots up a strip mall. And they open up his brain. They do an autopsy, and they find, oh my god, there is a giant tumor on his amygdala. I'm just making that up. I don't know if that. It completely explains why this otherwise normal man had this complete shift and shot up the mall. Actually, he would probably get a different charge because of that, right? Because it wasn't his fault. It was his brain. It was a tumor, right? It's not premeditated, right? Even if he planned it, it wasn't his fault. It was a tumor. We have some sympathy for that guy in a way that we don't have for a Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Or a Ted Bundy who, whether or not they opened their brain and found something, we just go, that guy planned these things. He's a crazy person. When really, Ted Bundy didn't want to be born with he didn't choose the brain that made him a serial killer.
Right.
And you go, well, if I were Ted Bundy, I wouldn't have done that. Yes, you would have.
Right.
Because everyone does exactly what they're going to do. And there's no, it gives you immense empathy. And I'm not saying I forgive child molesters or murderers or someone who could like hurt my family. I would be furious because that's just human nature. But I understand that when I think of child molesters, I'm so angry at what they do and disgusted by it. But there's a part of me that's like, no one would choose to be born with a brain.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh, I
that.
think some of that-
So there's
I-
a lot of sympathy. They need to like get help and do what they need to get help. But there's a lot of that. I go, they didn't choose that, and people have a hard time. That's a really weird concept, but if you break it down, everything is something that's weird in your brain. So whether it's a tumor or just your brain's weird and we can't really see what's weird, it's still not your fault. It's your brain.
Well, I think some of that will be interesting as we learn, you know, just as we evolve more and learn more and we start to see like, you know, empathy is such a big thing, you know, and just how much.
Are you good with it?
I think I'm pretty good with it, honestly, a lot of times. Because I've always felt that way, the way you're talking about. Like, even my
trying
friends
to
that have gotten in
mimic
trouble for sex stuff, like, or friends that have gotten in trouble, like, I usually always think, like, well, what happened to them? You know, like, how did it start? Like,
Yeah, that's great.
but I mean, it still doesn't take away. Also, though, you live in an environment and a society, and society is shaped where people have to have punishments
Well,
sometimes,
that's-
and
that's the
things that
thing.
happen. And sometimes some people need to go back into the broth, man.
I
you
get
know?
it, and I understand that we want to punish people and say like you hurt my friend, I'm gonna hurt you, eye for an eye. But really, the reason we put these people away is because they harm society, and it's not an example to people to not do that. But it's not so much retribution because we should just be like, wow, that sucks that he's a serial killer and his brain is like that. And we put them away, but we put them away as an example of not what to do, to not do what they do for people.
And we
other
want them
people.
out there. I got some
And
lunch
we want to
coming.
protect people. Yeah, you gotta go.
Huh? No, I'm gonna.
you're gonna eat lunch here?
Yeah,
Okay.
just real fast. But or not. But I'm just gonna have some lunch. But
I love that.
Yeah, I got
Let's
some
do it
chicken
live.
tenders.
Oh,
You don't like them? Oh, you
Chicken
can't eat
tenders?
them, huh?
it's not that I can. I won't.
Okay.
Oh, and these are for me too. Oh yeah, no, thank you. I'm not trying to be. People hate vegans, but yeah,
No way.
yeah.
So can you give if you do a BJ? Can you do a finisher?
Yeah, it's not harming an animal.
I mean, that's
If you're doing it
now
right.
that is to be that.
Listen, a couple of my early ones, my first one might have harmed a fellow human because I didn't know what to do with my teeth. But no, cum is like that's fine. You can
Or
ingest
seed.
that.
Most people call it seed
Most people call cum seed.
or semen.
I don't go give me your. I want your seed, but I feel like cum is the one.
Really?
Yeah, I call it cum. When you're in bed with a girl and you say, can you ingest my seed? What do you say to her?
Yeah.
I'm gonna seed. I'm gonna plant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna harvest.
Maybe. Sorry.
Yeah, I
you
say
can probably
cum.
do-
No, I'll keep it going. So, yeah, I don't eat animals because I love animals.
Now, what if you met an animal and he's violent, he's killing other animals, stuff like
Oh
that?
yeah,
He's
fucking
like,
kill him.
but he's the Jeffrey Dahmer of animals.
Still, we have to kill him because he's killing other animals. his sacrifice will be less than how much harm he could put in the world.
See, that's one of the things of roles. Sometimes you have to do things just for the greater good of everything.
That's what putting people in jail is for. But like,
well, do you believe in the death penalty then?
no, I mean by this logic, no, but I believe in it because if I got that life sentence, I would really want to be put to death. Oh, please. I believe in it just like I'm advocating for the prisoners to like have that option. Like, just, I don't even care if your chair's not working. Let's just do a shoot me. Mm-hmm. Like, I would rather, when the world ends and the wave comes, I just want to have a gun just so I can like kill myself before some natural disaster. That would be a better way to go than
hopefully
else.
I think some prisoners will wise up and they will get the option to have the death penalty.
Yeah.
And some of them would choose.
People are so scared of death.
It would be better to go back into the amoeba or the sphere, and have a new shot at a retribution of existence.
I
than
agree.
it would to be here and piddle around
and keep like writing letters to the girl
and
you
watch
murdered.
old movies,
Yeah,
and just
no.
because then you're just part of some
Get a boyfriend.
documentary that some creep is gonna make because they want to make money off the fact
I
you
watch
murdered
those YouTube
someone.
videos of like them interviewing sociopaths. I love sociopaths and psychopaths.
What's a murder you could do? And be honest with me.
Okay, Bill Cosby.
You could do rape.
I could probably strangle him.
Oh, you could kill him. You mean?
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
talking
no.
what's a murder you could commit?
Oh.
Like, what's a good
maybe
crime?
I shouldn't have said that then. But I would love to just see his eyes pop out even more as I slowly choke the life out of him for being probably a murderer and the most prolific serial rapist that any of us have ever known. A murder I could do, a gun. You know, like if there was a burglar or something, like I could stab someone. I could do anything in self-defense. I wouldn't like, my dad always says if you're in a car with a guy and you, he's taking you in an undisclosed location, you're going to get murdered, right? If a guy grabs you and shoves you in a car and you're screaming, don't try to like hang out for the car ride. Wherever you're going, you're going to get murdered.
You got to jump out.
So just try to wreck the car even if you're on a highway. But the best thing to do, if you can, is like gouge their eyes. And that would be hard for me to do just to feel it. But actually it would feel great to someone like that is about to rape and murder you to just go and like dig as far as you can. And
You have to do it.
And then the car will flip, but you have a better chance of surviving that than he's not going to take you to go do a podcast. You know, like you're gonna, it's gonna be bad.
See, that's one thing I think that's tough for a lot of women is you have that chance out there of getting sexually assaulted. You have the chance of getting, like, if somebody picks me up, they just are going to want to either spend time with me or give me a ride.
That's what I was saying about the run. But hold on, Theo. This brings us to one of the moments I'll never forget about you that I had on the street in front of the Improv on Melrose. Do you remember? You were coming back from your car. I was leaving the Melrose Improv. It was probably like 2017.
And I was on a jog?
No, you were coming back. You went to, like, you were maybe coming. Wait, hold on. I was walking that way. You were coming back to the Improv from your car, or maybe going to get something, or maybe you were coming for the first time. I go, "Hi, Theo," and I see you, and I pass you on the sidewalk. We're kind of further down.
I think I remember this a
west
little.
from Melrose. You'll remember it because I go, "Hey," and it's kind of in like a couple blocks more where the comics park. It's scary. It's cummy. It's seedy, you know. And so,
Oh, I do remember this.
and I was
now.
walking, and it was in a part that's a little scary, and I go, "Hey," and then you pass and you go, "Don't get raped," and I go,
Yeah.
"Thanks." I was just like, "Fuck you," because I was annoyed because it's like, if you think, if that is sincere of like, "Hey, be careful,"
Yeah.
just walk me to my car. You know where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then also, like, it's up to me whether or not I get raped is the other kind of, it's a funny thing to say because it's like,
Oh,
of
no,
course-
that's a big reach.
no, I'm saying, but just being like, don't get, it's just saying something flippant about a thing that I actually fear every time I leave there.
Right.
But you didn't know that. And so it was me going like, I go, "Thanks." And I'm in my car just like, ugh, God, that was not a fun interaction. I didn't care. I really did get to a place of like, he doesn't know the experience of being a woman and like, didn't
Yeah.
think about it. It was just, we were like, you were like, we were awkward almost. You were just like, "Hi," and just like said something. We all do that. So I forgive you. But then you texted me right after it and were like, "Hey, I'm really sorry. That felt so weird and that wasn't cool to say. And I should have walked you." You like said all the nice things in a text like right after. And
Oh,
that always
nice.
meant a lot to me. But, and I could tell that you were like, but yeah, just walk me to my car next time.
Yeah.
Do you walk girls to cars?
Yeah, I'll walk girls to cars. I'll make sure they get in the vehicles, get girls Ubers. You know, yeah, I think I do all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know why I said it. Maybe I thought that it was just a good. Maybe the environment was right for the joke. I
No,
don't know.
it is because also I'm a comic and that's a funny joke.
Well, that's a tough thing too. When you're talking with comics, it's like, and it's like that's the thing that sucks about the world. It sucks that you couldn't make a race joke a few minutes ago without everybody thinking you're a fucking racist. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's like you just have to.
And you kind of can. It's like you don't have to be.
But I might
that.
catch someone in a vulnerable state. Like you caught me in a vulnerable state where
Right.
I was already thinking about being raped, and I might say a race joke, and it catches someone who's watching who's black and was discriminated against all day today. They didn't get something because they are black, and it's just they know it, and then they hear me say a racial joke, and it just makes them go like, "God, another fucking thing." Like,
Right.
It can catch someone in the wrong time.
I agree, but then
So,
we've gotten to this space in the world
I don't
where
want
it's
to
like,
tiptoe around that, but I want a career.
right. And I want to be able to say things because we have to do things that's for the common good. Like, it's gotten to this point where it's like you're never going to make everybody on Twitter happy. Everybody has a voice now. It's impossible to make everyone happy, and so you have to be able to take some risks in every facet of
I
life.
do now.
You know.
Because don't you know that like
And you have to do things for the common good. It's like 99.5% of people would just laugh at the joke.
Yes. And
You
then
know?
there's that.
And there's that one person that's had a tough day. Yes, they've had a tough day. But we're also starting to raise people to think that just because they've had, and speaking of that,
Had a
this is
bad
Raising
day.
Cane's
Yeah.
that I'm having.
Oh.
But do you like this or no?
No, I don't.
You can't
mind
have it.
I can't have any of it, and I don't really.
Do you
I
mind
love,
men
I
that
love
eat it?
birds, and so eating chickens to me seems crazy.
But if a man eats it, was that deter you from being around that
I mean,
man?
I really like a guy to maybe wrap his head around like understanding, because I don't not eat chicken because it's not good. That's fucking delicious. Everything you're eating is something that I enjoyed for years of my life, and I do miss.
Yeah.
But I don't do things that sometimes that I want to do because it's right. Like I don't murder people that I want to murder. I don't
Yeah.
hit my friend. I don't hit my mom sometimes when I want to hit her because it's not good for the world. And eating
I don't know.
chickens and
Eating
supporting.
chicken, but you have to be able to eat something. At a certain point, what's next? And you can't have plant. Like you're not going to,
No,
salad
this
has
what's next
feelings.
thing is so stupid. The what's next. I
Right.
understand it, but like when people go plants have feelings. Okay, when that's proven, when plants are like, I can see the humanity in a plant's eyes, and I can see a pig, and I see my dog in a pig. It's not a hard thing to do.
Right.
I understand people can separate fish and squids, even though my octopus teacher should ruin that for everyone. They can kind of go, okay, those things are like insects. They're lobsters. They're like roaches. But when you eat a pig and a chicken, if you've ever had, I had a parakeets as a child. They were the best.
Oh, they're beautiful.
They were the best pets I've ever had. I loved that bird more than I've loved dogs, and I love dogs, but I had more of a connection. That bird had more of a personality, was smarter than my dogs. I'm more in kiwi. And then one day I was like, chickens are fucking kiwi. Like kiwi, that parakeet and chickens might be even smarter than me. I don't know.
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't matter
chickens-
if something's dumb though, because something's dumb doesn't mean it means it should be killed. We don't do
No.
that to humans.
But Mother Nature kills us sometimes.
Sure,
And
but let
uses
Mother
us to
Nature
go back into the earth.
Go
and,
hunt all you want. Just don't make animals suffer up until you kill them. I don't care. When,
Oh, I
when
agree
an
with
animal
that.
dies, I'm like, fuck yeah. It's not the killing. Put them out of their goddamn misery, much like the jail thing. The death penalty is great in a cow's life because the cow's existence up until the death penalty is what I'm bothered by.
Right.
And you can't guarantee that these animals are treated well. So many are up until they're slaughtered, but because you can't guarantee, I just, sometimes I look at eggs and I go, I'll buy the most expensive ones because those
Yeah.
are probably the ones that are treated right. But it's just a picture of a woman like holding a chicken and you're like, oh, that woman picked these eggs. Okay, it's like, no, that's the label.
Right.
I don't know, unless my sister had chickens and I definitely ate those chickens.
And look, the
when
thing
my
about
dog
it
killed
is,
them.
man, I think I wish we knew, here's what I wish. I wish we could get inside the brain of a chicken and know if they mind or not.
They definitely mind. Of course
I'm not
they
saying
mind.
they don't. I'm just saying I wish we had, and I think down the line we will have that ability.
Yeah, and we're all gonna look so stupid. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect and that everyone needs to go vegan, but my mom won't watch The Octopus Teacher, this thing that humanizes octopuses, and like not humanizes, but like makes them like, you realize like they have emotions, and this person like, it really fucks you up apparently if you watch this. And my mom loves calamari so much that she won't watch it. And she goes, I feel like if I watch that, I won't eat it anymore. And I'm like, then why? So you're living ignorantly so that you can protect yourself because you like fucking fried
But then it's always going to be
octopus?
like that. But then it's just going to become whoever owns the media is just going to be able to influence, and then they create the products
what?
that they want us to buy. Then
Okay, but like at least those products, hopefully, vegans are not doing anything wrong except wanting animals
I
to
have
be
nothing wrong
like,
with
to
vegans.
be happy.
Yeah.
And that's but people do have a lot. I mean, people are skipping this part.
Oh, really?
People hate vegans. I used to hate vegans. I used to have like a bit about it in my act, and I dated a vegan, and I would call.
Oh, I don't care if somebody's a vegan, but don't make me have to be a vegan if you're a vegan.
No, I'm not making you. I'm just kind of trying to say the same things that when I wasn't a vegan kind of made me see the other side and actually embrace it and really love it. And I'm just sharing with you my experience of realizing that animals want to live just like we do, and pigs are terrified from the second they're born. Cows and pigs, most of them, I know not all, get plucked from the mom. They're scared the whole time. They're shaking, then they're forced. They never have a single
Charlotte's Web.
moment of, no, it's not, because Charlotte's Web that's a good experience. At least that pig knew some like warmth. These animals never know warmth. A pet, never not 1 minute of it. From the time they're plucked from their mom until they're loaded on trucks, they're stuck in pens. They're just made to get fat. There's no one that's caring about their needs. So this animal that is capable of deep feelings like your dog never sees in its however long it lives life. It never sees a shroud of kindness to it, and then it's slaughtered. How can you do that?
Well, shit. How can you eat those? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. I'm having some Raising Cane's. I'm enjoying it.
I mean, you can take this out because eat what you want. I don't care. I'm just saying what I learned. That's why I can't eat meat anymore, and I fucking hate it because I miss fucking feta cheese. I miss froyo.
So is part of it that you just miss those things and you want to have them, and so you're angry at other people?
I mean, that's the classic hack fucking vegan
you.
joke. They're angry because they're weak because of protein.
I didn't say that.
I'm angry because I just don't understand why people who love dogs, and I know, like, dedicate their lives to saving dogs, can eat pigs. I just don't get it. Can eat pigs that they know have never seen. If 1 minute of what that pig that you're eating's life, or that chicken that you're eating's life, happened to your, like, I don't know if you don't have a dog. You've never had a dog?
I don't have a dog. I've considered getting a dog. I'm thinking about maybe getting a Welsh Terrier or something. Can you bring that up, Nick?
Yeah. So if for people listening at home, if a minute of the pain that a chicken that you're eating or a pig that you're eating's life, and I know it's not your fault, you didn't put them in that situation, you're just trying to eat food, I get it.
Look at that.
But if you're a little Welsh Terrier that you get someday that you're gonna love more than you ever even thought possible loving a dog, because that's what happens. If someone inflicted that kind of life for 30 seconds onto a dog, that a chicken and a pig experienced their entire life for 30 seconds, you would want to fucking murder. You would have that person charged with cruelty. They kept them in a box for that dog that it wasn't able to run. Its legs were scabbed up. It had sores in its eyes. Like, the things that happen to these animals, if we had a little bit of it for our precious pets, we would never tolerate it. Yet when we can't see the footage and we don't want to see it, so I didn't do it. And it's that kind of thing. And by the way, I definitely contribute to horrific injustices to human rights.
Yeah, there's tons. It will never end. I mean, at a certain point, we can't
I just chose one, and that's my one.
Cool. Yeah. I think.
But I still buy from Amazon, so I just want to be clear.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm still part of the problem.
I mean, it's crazy because, like, there's also countries where they eat dog and they eat things that are major pets.
I kind of like that they do. I like that they go, you know what? We eat cow. We're going to fucking eat dog. I wish we would start eating dog, because it would make people wake up to the fact that, why isn't this okay?
I would have some dog.
You should. You know what? I honestly, I don't want that to happen, but I do think that people need to wake the fuck up and realize that when we go to China to, like, say, don't have this Yulin dog meat festival, how could they eat dogs?
But I think there
if
used
you
to
had a
be
pet cow, you would never fucking ever eat a hamburger again.
Nikki, I think there used to be times where there was like a connection between animals and humans and nature, and so if they took something's life because they needed to survive, then that's what they did.
And the cow lived in a natural environment, or if it was farmed, it was treated nice and had a good life.
I've always said we should hunt. I more value it when someone hunts with a knife against an animal.
When people go, what about when Rogan hunts his elk? I'm like, do it. Those elk lived a good life. They just, like, caught a fucking stray bullet. Like, things happen, but at least they fucking fucked a lot and ate a lot and jumped over creeks and, like, had some adventures in their life that animals are supposed to have.
So maybe you want animals to have adventures.
Have an outward bound experience. We should take these animals and give them a week
solution
in the wild.
Yeah. No, I love that. You want YMCA camp for these animals while they grow up.
Before, and that's what a lot of, like, one more thing. There's a thing called in the vegan community that I would never do called bearing witness. And PETA does it a lot, where they meet up with these slaughter trucks as they're coming in. The pigs are coming to slaughterhouse. They're packed into these things, and you can just see their snouts through these little cages, and they're dying of thirst. They're basically dead, because if they were dead, who cares? So if I finished this soda and I was just talking to you, I would just start crinkling the can, because I know it's trash. It's going in the trash. I'm not saving this. I'm not trying to make this.
Right. You're not gonna give them the best last meal. It's not like a prison system.
Is a pig, so that's headed to slaughter. You just treat it like shit. So these pigs are in the worst conditions, headed to slaughter, and these people go and it's called bearing witness, because just to honor a pig's life and go like, I see you, and I knew you were an animal that deserved more, and I'm really sorry. And just to be there, and like they hold a vigil, because it's sad, and they feed water to these thirsty pigs through the thing. And that to me is like, I could never do that. I can't even look at footage. I just read stuff and know, but that's the kind of thing that I hear, and I just go, that's pretty much an Outward Bound experience of like, I'm going to show you a pet, the one gentleness you'll get your whole life, because you've been kicked and prodded and living in shit and eating bad stuff that doesn't even taste good, that's just going to make you fat. I mean, it's just so sad.
I mean, I think some of it is not people's fault, though. Some of it is just the way that society has evolved. And also, if you have to feed a family, like there's no opportunities for a lot of people to go do all types of certain things. Like,
that's why I'm saying you don't have to go all vegan. Just one. If you can do one meal where you eat.
Sometimes you don't have a choice like that as a parent that's trying to take care of their kids and stuff. I get it.
But there are plant-based options at Burger King now. Like, there's ways around it that taste good. I'm serious. I know that vegan stuff is expensive, and I can say that it's elitist of me to be able to like, just go switch to plant-based, get meals delivered to your doorstep. But there's really affordable options now, and that's really old rhetoric of being like, it's too expensive. There's ways that you
but I'm just saying, some people's lifestyles, it's not an option in their lifestyle.
Well, I'm not telling if that resonated with anyone.
But if you want to do it, then you can do it.
All I do is I have to spread the message, because it's shit like this that got me to adopt it. And so I know I might sound like a Jehovah's Witness right now, and I'm like, I have to spread the Lord's message.
Yeah.
That's what I feel in my heart for animals is my job.
Yeah.
And like I said, I am letting severe injustices of human injustices happen, and I don't speak up for it, because this is just my cause I pick, and I'm drawn to it. And it works. I've made a lot of people go vegan, and the only reason I went vegan is because vegans wouldn't shut the fuck up. And so I know it works. They were annoying as shit.
Yeah.
And they finally got to me.
Yeah.
So I have to be annoying as shit. There's no other way to do it.
Well, sometimes things got to be said. You have a new tour that's coming, right?
Yeah, man.
One night only? No.
Yeah, One Night with Nikki Glaser.
One night with Nikki Glaser.
It's like, because it's all about sex. No, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited.
Yeah?
Because, dude, my theater tour last time got stopped in the middle. You were doing theaters for a while, right?
Yeah, I had just finished my tour when COVID started.
Your first one?
Yeah.
Like your first theater tour of not clubs? What was it? Was it great?
Yeah, it was cool. It was hard. I had been already doing clubs for like in a row for like a year and a half. I was just exhausted. By the end, I was exhausted.
That was what I felt on mine last year. It was just doing clubs up until the first theater tour date, and then all of a sudden it's a theater and people are paying more money. The pressure's on, and I did cool stuff. Like I finished with a dance. Andrew Collin, my co-host on Nikki Glaser podcast, and my best friend and roommate, and then my other best friend Anya Marina, like she opened with music. Like I had a band open, and I brought my friends on the road. It was so fun. And then COVID happened, and it all shut down, right? And then
so
we're
you're
starting
firing
up
it back
again.
up.
And in COVID, I've learned how to play guitar. I'm gonna sing a song with my friend Anya, and like I might do like private concerts before my shows, like at cafes in town, where I just do Taylor Swift like sing-alongs. And I'm not even joking you. Like I'm bad at guitar, but I like singing Taylor Swift with other Swifties, fans. So I might start doing that. But like the show itself, and my dad and I sang over the summer. When I was on tour.
I remember seeing that.
We did
on
a
your
version
IG.
of Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper's Shallow.
Yeah.
But we rewrote it about me living at home with my parents, and it was really fucking funny. It was all about, I've got to leave, I've got to go, and like hearing my parents fuck through the wall. But it was like, and it sounds like it was really good.
No, it
and I
doesn't
went to voice lessons and like learned how to sing like Gaga, and it was singing is fucking fun. And my dad's an amazing musician. So
Are you a good singer or not?
I can be, but I quit singing lessons, and I smoke a lot of pot now, but apparently my singing teacher's like, you can do whatever, I'll work with it. Like rock and roll artists they smoke cigarettes all the time. Like you smoke pot.
Oh yeah, I think everybody has. Some people have their own
times a
little
day.
vice that they take out with them.
Yeah, and so I I love singing, and but the stand-up show is not gonna be singing. It's gonna be me like roasting, like doing roast stuff, talking about roast because people love that and they expect that from me now.
Is there
even though
any?
I'm like, ugh.
Is it a mixed bag though? There could be singing, there could be special guests, there could be whatever.
There's gonna be like I really am excited about like the whole thing. Like it's never gonna be boring. You're never gonna be watching something and going like, oh my god, I don't want to watch Nikki's friend like play music. It's gonna be like, this is fucking really fucking good. Like my friend Anya Marina is like a legit. I have friends that are talented that want to work and I can make them money this way.
Awesome?
It's so nice.
I know.
And then I get to bring my dad who's fucking 66. He's been playing in bars and at nursing homes during COVID, like outside their windows.
And what his name is, Jim?
His name's EJ Glaser, and he's such a good musician. He's always wanted me to sing and play guitar. And when I moved back home over quarantine, this thing that my dad always wanted me to do, and I was like, I'm not good at it. I'm not as good as you, Dad. And I'd like
Billy Elliot, yeah. Like, what does the J stand for? Ernest James?
Edward John.
Edward John.
Yeah.
John.
He's very cool. And anyway, so I'm gonna sing with him, and then I'm gonna have special guests. Like I'm gonna fly my friends out. That's my new life. It's just like,
dude, I love it. I love the fact you're able to
Hosting
kind
the
of like
MTV
get into
Awards.
St. Louis. Yeah, and I know you have the MTV. You're going to be hosting.
But I was
them.
just saying that because I'm hosting them this week. I'm like out here, and instead of getting a hotel and just being like, I usually come out and do my stuff and then hang with my LA friends. I was like, in case my LA friends are busy or like whatever, I'm just gonna bring my friends with me. And so I got a house in the hills on Airbnb, and like I brought all my friends, like who I brought here today. It's like, so these things that I used to go like, I'm hosting this award show, and it's like, it's me and my spray tan, and like I'm alone, and like I don't even know what thing I'm gonna say, and I'm like freaking out. It's like I constantly have friends around that are like,
you're fine.
Like, let's play guitar for a second.
Right.
Oh my god, let's like talk about this funny thing I saw. Like, it's so great to be in this position and to like be able to just like today just doing work that like you like
and getting comfortable. I think getting to a place in your life where you're comfortable to exist as you choose.
Yes,
that's one thing I think I hear a
want.
lot from you, even just in this conversation, is just getting to a place in your life where you feel comfortable existing.
Like
period.
I usually like before we started, I was like, oh, I want to check the shot to make sure. Like, should I wear this shirt? Am I looking like
It's
I'm
okay,
like
though.
trying
You
to be
should.
sexy? Because I'm always scared that someone's gonna go, she's trying to look hot. When really, like, of course I am. I'm fucking single. This is like a platform to like
Right.
get people's attention. Why wouldn't I look hot? Like until I'm married, and
I
even
think
when
you
I'm
look
married.
great.
So, but the thing is, if I see this later and I go, because there's a lot of times I see stuff of me, and any girl and lots of guys watching would relate, where you just go like, I am disgusted. Like I have really low self-esteem when it comes to my looks. Like,
Oh, yeah. Me
it
too.
started really early and it's just there. But now or this past year, I'm just like, I don't know what happened, dude. I just
You're
don't
back?
care. I like when I see myself looking really fucking ugly and like dry skin, and I look like old. Like I look like sometimes I see my face and I'm like, bitch, you're old. And I am. I'm 36. Like sometimes I'm like, you look like 42. That's okay. I just had a fucking dry day.
Yeah.
I need to moisturize more. Like, and I am gonna. Who cares? And the way that I feel like anyone who likes me is still gonna like me if I look like shit. The people I love, when they start looking like shit, I'm on board. It's okay. You didn't
Yeah.
let me down.
Oh,
Jennifer
yeah.
Aniston, you're allowed to look like shit someday if you want to, even though you won't.
Yeah.
But I love her so much. I don't care. And so now I like myself, and now when I look like gross, I just go like, oh boy, you looking a little husky today, and those pants were a mistake. It's like
Little crispy
you just
today.
like laugh. I
Yeah.
laugh at like I used to be really embarrassed at how messy I was. Like my car, I don't want people. I have to like clean
Hide
my
and
car if a
everything,
boy is
yeah.
gonna get in. Now I'm just like, if this guy is someone I'm
Get
gonna
on
marry,
in, yeah.
look at my trash. This is not a.
Here,
I'm not
hold
a bad
this
person
Snapple bottle.
because
Yeah.
I have LaCroix cans in
Yeah.
the passenger seat. Maybe that's
That's
not
so
respectful.
funny. Yeah, I could relate to a lot
I
of
just
that.
don't care anymore.
How the reflection
I
of
am
just
the
your
way-
environment.
I don't want to present any way I'm not, because if you get to be authentic across the board and really are like, I am who I am and that's okay, then you don't have to ever think. I literally don't have to, because the thing, I realize this about comedy and you tap into it big time, because this is the thing I notice about you is you just talk and it's funny. Like I know you're aware of what you say is funny, but you talk in a way that you almost act like you don't know. But I also think that you're in a position now that you know that your fans get you, and you know that you're funny, that you can show up and you don't really have to prepare. You can just start talking and it's gonna be good enough. Like maybe prepare a little bit, but I could get on stage and talk about fucking anything and be entertaining at this point because I've done it that long. And within that is like this freedom to be, people are at ease. Audiences want to watch you comfortable. If I'm comfortable and
Right.
not worried about what you think, they lap it up.
And we feel good
Yeah.
then too. I notice if I'm having fun, man, if I'm in a good place, then yeah, the show's usually in a
and
great
being
place.
honest, if I'm not in a good place, I'll just be like, man, I am fucking depressed today. Or if I'm sometimes I go on stage, I'm too high. My new thing is I'm just going to be like, guys, I'm really high, because the audience just wants in.
Yeah.
They want in on what's going, they sense something weird. What is it? Oh, she's high. Yeah. The weed, I took one, I thought I wanted one hit. I took two. I got greedy. Now we're in a weird place. Now I've broken this weirdness that I, in my head, go, Nikki, you shouldn't have smoked weed before the set. You're such a bad comedian. Now what's your next joke? What's the next joke? You shouldn't have done
that's
that.
the worst.
And now I just go, I'm high, everyone. And now it's like, okay, no more secrets. Like, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And I think that's what comedy is, just being honest.
Let's be honest.
And so as
man.
long as you just talk honestly, it's going to be funny and good, and people are going to like it.
Yeah, I think I think that's one thing I'm trying to tap into a little bit more, getting into some of this next tour. One of the things I want to work on more in the coming months.
I can't wait to see we never get to watch each
I know,
other
huh?
anymore, but it's like I really dig your stuff, and I'm a true fan, and I've met you not knowing what your comedy was like at all, and I've told you this before, but for the past many years you've been one of my faves, and someone
thank
that
you.
I'm just like, I always watch your shit.
Thank you. You've always said some really nice stuff to me, and I
I'm always
appreciate
blown
that.
away every time I see you. I'm just like,
Same here. When I
what
see
the
you,
fuck am I doing up there? I need to like just start telling the truth, or the
Well,
weird, or the
I think you
wackiest
do
way
a
to say
great
it, or just
job.
like saying, when you say limousine of rats, right? Okay.
Yeah.
How did that occur to you? I want to know how that joke popped in your brain, because I'm not kidding you. That was the funniest thing I've heard in a while.
I don't know. I think just something long. That's it. And then we talking about an animal, and
You just pulled long and then rat.
yeah, that ferret. And so then I just thought of those things.
And
I
that's so
guess.
simple. It's like the first thing that entered in your mind. Like sometimes I overthink things, but sometimes I just got to go, it's a long rat. What's long? Boom.
Easy.
Limousine.
Limousine. And they don't make them anymore, so they're so messed up. And look at that. You gotta
Yeah, it's
love
like a
that.
water slide of
What
rats.
yes, there you go.
It's a I mean, this joke could go, that's a, it looks like one of the penises in the porn that I watch quite often.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I watch some big stuff
You do, huh?
lately. Oh boy,
Oh.
It's my porn consumption is just.
some of the stuff.
Another
is pretty big out
podcast.
there. Yeah.
I mean, I
There's
feel really bad
really-
for guys
Yeah.
out there based on porn. I really do, because you're right, you do, but our vaginas are different in comparison too. So we're also feeling the same kind of insecurity, and I just want to let guys out there with small dicks know, like,
You're gonna
literally,
be fine.
you can just use a dildo to fuck me, and then just like,
Yeah, as long as
do
you're
other-
cheering me on, as long as you're there supporting, as long as you're not on
Some
your
of the
phone the whole
best
time.
sex I've had is with a guy with a penis
Yeah.
using a dildo.
Amen.
All right, so just saying that.
Look, I think that covers everything. One night with Nikki Glaser, right?
Yes,
One
and
night
tickets
only?
on sale. Nikki, well, some places are 2 nights, and so we'll
Right.
but it's nikkiglaser.com/tour for tickets. They're on sale now, and I'm pretty happy. People are turning out, but people really like my podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I never promote podcasts because I'm always like, what am I doing?
But I
It's
love
fucking
the way
good,
you're
dude.
doing it at home now. You're in your home
Every
city.
day you like find out about, I can't help but like share gossip about my life. You catch up on like stories going on. It's very interactive with fans. It was inspired by watching people like you and how you do it and just are yourself. So if you like this show and you liked my appearance and you made it to the end, definitely subscribe to the Nikki Glaser podcast, and then unsubscribe if you don't like it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But just
But just-
subscribe.
yeah, give it a shot.
Blindly go. And
Nikki
you can
and-
jump in. You don't have to listen to old episodes. Just jump on in
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah, you don't have to start from the beginning.
No.
With Andrew Conlon and
Colin. Yep.
Nikki, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Theo. Always fun.
Yeah, and thank you, Raising Cane's, for my lunch. And
Yes, thank you.
next time, maybe they'll have a vegan option in the future.
I think they should. If they did, I would be so cool with
What if
them.
they have that?
Yeah.
I don't know. We got the guy who started Raising Cane's is from Louisiana. He's coming on the podcast next week.
No, I know that's like everyone's favorite fried chicken, and so yeah, that's pretty cool that you're having that guy. Good on him.
It'd be interesting just to hear how it all happened. You know,
I mean,
for some
I'll
of
probably
us.
skip it, but
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm
No.
sure it's interesting. I support people in that. I get it.
That was the best ending ever. Nikki Glaser, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in.
Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone. Oh, but when I reach that ground, I'll share this peace of mind I found. I can feel it in my bones, but it's gonna take a little time for me to set that parking brake and let myself unwind. runaway train with a heavy load of my past. And these rails that I've been riding on, they're worn so thin that they're damn near gone. I guess